Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolvie channel where we talk a lot about specific things. Even sometimes we have to go to the political realm to get some things that we don't understand and figure out what the interest of what we're doing and how we do that. And I tell you, this guy may be seconds away from being in custody. I seen something, so um, let's see if we can't get a perp walk. Everybody knows what a perp walk is.
It sat down in kind of a bowl area here.
Here, so let's. This is not live, so but it is current information that other people are not using right now because I guess it's a political war. Like I said, the state and the federal government are literally in at war with each other, and this is what they do. Okay, so let's go to the stand of virtual signaling and everything else because that's what they do. That's what they do best. We all know virtual signaling, right? I don't like. Like I said, I don't like to get into the politics, but I do know that Charlie was a decent person. He had his Turning Point USA. The Gen Z loved him. He was making. He was a threat to debates and being a master debater, and they just couldn't handle him. So they do what always bullet what my channel's been showing, what police have been doing to us, taxing us without representation. And I'm not even anti-cop. I'm just talking about the constitutional preventions that's in the Constitution that protects us from the tyranny and the crap that's going on. And it's all related to this political garbage and this political theater with these political acts. So let's see if they let's see how far they are.
Vice President Val Peterson, who's been in touch with President Jimenez, and then we'll hear from Governor Cox. I'll turn the time over to Commissioner Mason.
I mean, I may be getting into politics real soon here. I don't know. What I'm doing in the community that I love, they don't want to get along with each other. And I'd rather get into something that I know. I am a conservative by heart. I do love the conservative people that just happen to vote Republican, but I'm not a Republican. But I'll always be a conservative. I do have conservative values.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. Today at approximately 12:20 Mountain Standard Time, political influencer Charlie Kirk was shot at an event at the Utah Valley University. He was taken by private vehicle to Timpanogos Hospital, where he later passed.
William?
The Utah Department of Public Safety will be co-leading this criminal investigation to find this killer, along with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're working in unison with the County Sheriff's Office, the local police department, and the University Police Department, all of which have been very cooperative and fully engaged in this process. Shortly after the shooting, we did have a suspect in custody, George Zinn, but he was released from custody after we identified that he did not match the shooting suspect and was not an accurate person of interest. However, he has been booked into the county jail by Utah Valley University Police Department for obstruction of justice. We do still have an active investigation for the person of interest, This incident occurred with a large crowd around. There was one shot fired and one victim. While the suspect is at large, we believe this was a targeted attack towards one individual. This is a tragic moment in our state and in our country. As we heal, we encourage everyone who is struggling with news of the incident to call 988, our state mental health crisis line. In addition to that, our partners with the FBI will also be discussing other ways we can communicate through the public for tips and other information. Thank you.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the FBI, we extend our sincerest condolences to the family and friends of Charlie Kirk. Our thoughts are also with the people who witnessed this traumatic event. We know that what you experienced was very difficult. Our thoughts are with you as well. As soon as we heard about the shooting, special agents and personnel from the Salt Lake field office responded immediately. We have full resources devoted to this investigation, including tactical, operational, investigative, and intelligence.
Robert, I usually don't do this on these kind of things, but I hope you're subscribed to me because you and I feel exactly the same way. F them both. F the 100 people that is in the Senate. F the 135 people that are in Congress.
To be clear, the FBI will fully support and co-lead this investigation alongside with our partners. We are working on setting up a digital media tip line, and as soon as it's established, we'll get that information out to everyone. I know there's a lot of questions. This is very much an active case, and this investigation is in its early stages. We are following all the leads and all the evidence. If anyone has any information, please report it to the FBI or local law enforcement. Thank you.
On behalf of President Tumenez, who we've been communicating with, and she's on her way back right now, I say that on behalf of Utah Valley University, we are shocked and saddened by the tragic passing of Charlie Kirk. We express our sincere condolences to the Kirk family. We grieve with our students, faculty, and staff who bore witness to this unspeakable tragedy. He was invited by the student group Turning Point USA to speak on our campus. We firmly believe that UVU is a place to share ideas and to debate openly and respectfully. Any attempt to infringe on those rights has no place here. We do not condone any form of violence at UVU and seek to make our campus a safe place for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this dark and tragic occasion. I want to thank our law enforcement officers who are leading this investigation, starting with Chief Long and his response here with the UVU Police Department. We're grateful for your leadership and your team. And again, to the speakers that you've just heard from who are co-leading this investigation. I also want to recognize Sheriff Mike Smith, who has been an invaluable partner as this investigation moves forward. I've been in touch with President Trump, with FBI Director Kash Patel. We are completely aligned with our state and federal partners as we work through this case. Now, this is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation. And I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination.
There it is. And that's why I put it that way.
We are celebrating 250 years of the founding of this great.
You guys, if you haven't subscribed to Wolverine Transparency, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. I'm growing my channel. Here we go.
Nation. That founding document, the Declaration of Independence, that this on which we embarked together 250 years ago, that we are endowed by our Creator with. The first one of those is life. And today, a life was taken.
Welcome, William.
Charlie Kirk.
Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Foremost,
You're welcome.
a husband and a dad to two young children. He was also very much politically involved, and that's why he was here on campus. Charlie believed in the power of free speech and debate to shape ideas and to persuade people. Historically, our university campuses in this nation and here in the state of Utah have been the place where truth and ideas are formulated and debated. And that's what he does. He comes on college campuses and he debates. That is foundational to the formation of our country, to our most basic constitutional rights. And when someone takes the life of a person because of their ideas or their ideals, then that very constitutional foundation is threatened. Now, we have a person of interest in custody. The investigation is ongoing. But I want to make it crystal clear right now to whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah. Our nation is broken. We've had political assassinations recently in Minnesota. We had an attempted assassination on the governor of Pennsylvania. And we had an attempted assassination on a presidential candidate and former president of the United States, and now current president of the United States. Nothing I say can unite us as a country. Nothing I can say right now can fix what is broken. Nothing I can say can bring back Charlie Kirk. Our hearts are broken. We mourn with his wife, his children, his family, his friends. We mourn as a nation. If anyone in the sound of my voice celebrated even a little bit at the news of this shooting, I would beg you to look in the mirror and to see if you can find a better angel in there somewhere.
Agreed. What do you think?
Agreed. Yep, agreed.
I don't care what his politics are. I care that he was an American. We desperately need our country. We desperately need leaders in our country. But more than the leaders, we just need every single person in this country to think about where we are and where we want to be. To ask ourselves, is this it? Is this what 250 years has wrought on us? I pray that that's not the case. I pray that those who hated what Charlie Kirk stood for will put down their social media and their pens and pray for his family.
You see, I'm going to stop this for 1 second and say this and then go back on. But do you see what jealousy and hatred turn into, William?
Yeah, I do.
Do you see how somebody that just got so angry and was so pathetic and that showed their cowardness to be as far as they was when they pulled the trigger and then ran like a little bitch and didn't take the credit for it?
Exactly. That's a coward.
Because usually assassinations are dealt with big money, and especially if it is you got countries out there that want to stir up this type of division. They're willing to take that, but that's what's showing me right now. I'm still a little confused, and I still think that at the end of this, they might have him in custody. I don't know.
Yeah, because he said they had somebody in custody, but then he said, "We will fine you." So that I was kind of confused about that a little bit.
But they might be a pubic hair away from. That's why I have it in there. Charlie Kirk's assassin may be minutes away from being arrested.
And that all of us will try to find a way to stop hating our fellow Americans. With that, we're happy to take a few questions.
Like them numbers.
The FBI director is posting that a suspect is in custody. I would just like clarification. Do you or do you not have a suspected shooter in
There's
custody?
my
We have
calling.
a person of interest in custody that is being interviewed right now. We
Are
do.
you still- That is not George Zinn.
That is not George Zinn. That is correct.
Is there
Are
any
you still
indication
searching
of foreign
or
involvement?
looking for another shooter or anybody else related to this?
Yes, we are actively looking for anyone and everyone who has any possible information relating to the shooting.
Can you tell us details about the suspect being taken into custody? Where, how long ago?
We cannot at this point, but we will get you that information when we can.
Is there believed to be a second individual involved in the shooting?
At this point, there is no information that would lead us to believe that there is a second person involved.
Can you guys talk?
The possible shooter?
Do you want to talk about what we know there? Yeah.
The only information we have on the suspect, the possible shooter, is taken from closed circuit TV here on campus. We do have that. We're analyzing it, but it is security camera footage, so you can kind of guess what the quality of that is. But we do know dressed in all dark clothing, but we don't have a much better description other than that.
Where
So
do
to
you believe the shot
clarify-
came from?
The shot came from here on campus, from a location at a fair, potentially from a roof, yes. A longer distance shot from a roof.
So to clarify, with the security camera footage you have and the person of interest that's in custody, does that match up?
That's what we're trying to decipher right now.
So did FBI or DHS have anything on the threat board this morning?
I can't speak to that.
I'll just say that the investigation's ongoing, and as soon as we have further information, we will be sure to release it.
Any indications of foreign intelligence involvement?
As of now, I can't comment on any of that.
Can you talk a little bit about the security of the event itself? Who was there security-wise and what happens on these kind of events?
Chief Long.
So my name is Jeff Long. I'm the police chief here at UVU, and I'll tell you right now, we're devastated. We're a small police department. We have a very large campus. We have over 40,000 students, and we love our students. We love our visitors, and we're devastated by what happened today. This is the police chief's nightmare. I'm very saddened for the Kirk family. I know his wife and parents found out about this. Obviously he's away from home. He's here in Utah. They find out by a police officer that visits their home. That's tragic. Nobody wants that. But I can tell you about our venue today. This was an open venue. This was outside. We did have 6 officers working that event. We had probably over 3,000 people that were in attendance. It sat down in kind of a bowl area here on the central campus. We have a waterfall area. And so he was kind of in a lower area surrounded by buildings. We had some plainclothes police officers that were in the crowd as well. We train for these things, and you think you have things covered, and these things, unfortunately, they happen. You try to get your bases covered, and unfortunately today we didn't. And because of that, we had this tragic incident. So we did have officers there. We had Charlie Kirk's team. He has a security team that travels with him, and they were here with him when he was shot.
Joseph, we agree with you 100%. And our prayers are for the family. And we appreciate people that are tuning into my channel here. Welcome. My co-host is William L. and I am Wolvie. Welcome to my channel. And I speak truth to power as well. I have a small following, but I do not allow these type of things to go unseen on my channel as the patriots that I want people to be, that I am, that I talk to a lot of people in my community about all the time. And I just think it's in all of our interest to pay attention to these things. Without any further ado, my PayPal is in the chat here. Don't hesitate to give to this channel because this channel puts a lot out, and we follow certain events that we keep our ears to the streets to know what's going on all sides.
I'm sorry, see? At this point, I can't disclose that.
There was a question being asked about mass shootings. Was that person apprehended? And do you know who asked that question?
Say the question again. I don't know if I understand what you're saying.
When Charlie Kirk was shot, he was answering a question about mass shootings specifically. Was that person apprehended? And do you know who asked that question?
I do not. We do not have that at this moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have time for just one more question, so thank you.
Yeah, a question for the chief as well. Was it your team or Kirk's team or a combination of both that kind of set the security protocol for the event?
So we work together. You know, he has his team and they do this all over the country. We all know that. This is not uncommon for them. They're very comfortable on campuses. And I was coordinating with his lead security guy. And so, yeah, we were working together.
Was this a sharpshooter type shot? Was this a
Ladies and gentlemen, those are all the questions that will be answered today. Again, thank you for covering this. We will be updating you as soon as we have additional information through normal channels, working with law enforcement. Again, our deepest condolences to the Kirk family and to the students who were there today. I would just ask everyone everywhere to please pray for their family and to pray for our country. We need it now more than ever. Thank you.
The governor of Utah there, as well as law enforcement officials on the ground. Again, a subject they say is in custody, a person apparently dressed in black. They believe that this shot came from a rooftop at that venue in Utah at the university that killed Charlie Kirk.
William, I believe they found a 308 long rifle, didn't they?
I think I heard something like that.
All right, let's listen.
They are not discussing whether a weapon was recovered.
Yeah, you guys, we got 500 something people in here.
Yeah,
Please
I think
pass-
I heard too. I think I heard too. That it was they found a bolt action with a message on it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I seen a news thing earlier that they said that they found a bolt action and it had some kind of message on it. I don't know if it's true or not, but
Can you email me that if you could find it?
yeah, I could try.
All right, thanks.
Who was pulled over and taken early. It was not that person. It was another person who is now in custody. That news came actually on a post from the FBI director, Kash Patel, seconds before this briefing started. He posted on X, the subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to the local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership with the
Dirk, you know what? I hear you, man. I think we're all getting a bit sick of this, you know, especially coming out of that one side. You know, I am literally sick and tired of liars looking. I mean, these are the type of people that will walk an old lady across the street with walking north and a mother and her baby in a stroller walking south in the crosswalk with a sucker in the baby's mouth, and he'll steal that sucker away from that baby while he's crossing the walk. That's how just smooth these people are, you know, and they are liars, deceivers, manipulators. But this guy right here, he was the real deal, Holyfield, man. All crap set aside.
FBI will provide updates when able. Again, we don't have any information about that person other than he was dressed in all black and that the shot likely came from a rooftop in that venue in the university. Let's go back to former New York City police inspector and Fox News contributor Paul Morrow. Paul, you listened to that. It sounds like they may have their person, but they're calling him a suspect at this point. Your thoughts?
Hey,
Well,
Wolfie,
I don't think
text
that
you the
Director
link.
Patel.
What's up?
I text you the link
Oh,
to that
You
news
texted
thing
to
about
me?
the gun. Yeah.
yeah, I was hoping you'd
I'll
email
try.
me.
You want me to try to email it?
Yeah, will you please, to Wolverine
Okay.
Transparency? Thank you. Because I can just open it up and we can look at it from there.
Would put that statement out so unequivocally unless they felt pretty confident that they have their man. There are a number of
Y'all,
ways.
if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. The link is in the description, or you can just hit the top. And if you're down with the supporting channels that are out here providing content for you and to keep you updated, this channel will take donations and we appreciate it. We are in the middle of doing a lot of things, and the stuff is, trust me, the studio is not cheap, and we appreciate all donations. And there is my PayPal. Thank you. Appreciate all donations, and there is my PayPal. Thank you.
That they can confirm this, but let's just say that once you have the body and you're pretty sure that this is the person, they will nail that down quite quickly, as they did with Ryan Ruth in the courthouse behind me, whose trial is ongoing. They pulled him over and they knew in short order, this is our guy. There's a number of things you can do. You can just
So they think that this is more likely than not likely that this is their guy.
check the hands for powder burns. You can go through a whole series of things, but you go backward into the person's life, and you're likely going to find various strong clues that indicate that you do have this person. And your hope now is that if this is in fact the person, it's the only person, and that this is not a part of something larger.
Yeah, and Paul, that's the key, is that they were asked if there were other people involved. They don't know. They think there was
Hey,
one
you.
shooter. They say he was
Yeah, it's me.
dressed in
I emailed it to you, so hopefully you
Alright.
got it.
Thanks.
black, likely a shot from the rooftop. You suspected that was kind of a longer range shot, looking at everything you saw online.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I don't mean to be too graphic, but a lot of us have seen that video, and if you haven't seen it, I don't recommend it. But that said, it's very clear that that's not a handgun shot. That argues a long gun, a very high-powered gun, which means it's going to be from a distance, because if somebody pulled that out in a crowd, a long gun, you're going to have multiple witnesses, probably somebody tackles them or follows them, and this would have been rolled up a lot more quickly. That's why in some of my early commentary, as soon as I learned about this, I was a little skeptical of the first person that they got in custody, who now sounds like he's in custody just for some sort of an obstruction charge, probably due to some of the statements he made. But I think it was a logical conclusion that it came from some.
So to break that down is that, it was some troll there that was trolling him, and he don't care about human life. Instead of, you could be a troll and be against somebody, but not, enable somebody, losing their life over it. It was the way that man went out was terrible.
Someplace further away because the person wasn't apprehended, the power of the round. But that also,
the craziest thing at 5 o'clock this morning, I was watching Charles Manson, and he predicted stuff like this. And he would say, you guys are going to continue to do stuff like this until the one that killed that actually came back, that is named Jesus. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and talk religion. I'm just talking about these prophecies that was made. Did you ever hear Charlie Manson say that?
Yeah, I've heard him say he thought he was a prophet.
Yeah.
And he did predict a lot of things.
He did. He predicted a lot of this.
again, is a clue. And I'm sure that they started ripping videotape. You have various vectors that you can go down. And it speaks to the level of commitment here of the task force that they undoubtedly threw together quickly, that they got somebody this quickly.
Yeah. Paul Morrow, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's bring in House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, Louisiana Republican, had his own experience.
So Steve Scalise, I don't know if you guys remember him. He's a Republican that was at a event on a camp on baseball diamond, and he was also
Shot
targeted.
and hit.
I don't want to keep
Yeah,
saying
he's-
that because YouTube is,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
we're
Sorry
so
about that.
censored. You know what I mean? We're just so damn censored. We're so sick of it. But anyway, he was hit like that too, and it's by the grace of God that he's alive as well.
With political violence when he was shot, nearly killed during a congressional baseball team practice in June of 2017. Mr. Leader, thank you for coming here. First, your reaction to this day, this moment. I know you knew Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, Brett, so many thoughts, sad day, a lot of anger, frankly. My prayers are with the family of Charlie. I mean, he's got a wife, young kids, obviously, his parents, close friends. And Charlie was such an inspirational person. I mean, you saw that brought thousands of people out.
I agree with that statement as well. What about you, William?
Yep. Agree.
Steve's, coming from Steve Scalise, he's got my respect.
Oh yeah, he went through a lot.
Yes. And so he knows a little bit of something what this mother and this beautiful child's going through right now. Just unbelievable, guys.
On the
Yeah, it's
college
actually
campus there in
sad.
Utah Valley, would do that all around the country, and somebody who really talked about a civil discourse. Let's go debate. You might think differently than me.
And
there's nothing wrong with that. Let's.
My thing ain't working. Can you put my PP in there for me? You know what I mean, my PayPal. Because I just write it and you can't hit it from mine.
Let's talk it out, and you just
Same
go
thing
prove
with
your
you, deplorable, if you don't mind.
point. I'm going to talk about what I believe in, and that's what America's about. And I think, Brett, that's the biggest concern, is that there are some people that think that political violence is a way to shut other people down. That is not what America is, and it can't ever become that.
As far as his impact, though, I mean, he truly moved the needle for your party. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. I mean, Charlie had such an impact on bringing young people, especially. He brought a lot of people into politics, many into the Republican movement, but he didn't care about your politics, even if it meant he was getting somebody engaged that thought differently than him. But clearly, when you look at this last presidential election, and he and President Trump were so close, and Charlie was so active in the presidential election, and I think was very responsible for helping a lot of young people get involved in the Trump campaign. And, the two of them worked very closely together throughout the campaign on turnout, on getting people to participate, especially young people, to participate in our political process, which is so important.
Yeah, he had Gen Z, man. And let's see if they are. Maybe this is it right here. So, okay, so they do have. Oh, no, that was September. That was June 17. Let's see. This is the day
to justice.
I said to Laura earlier that this moment feels different. It feels like a kind of a big moment. And I don't know what's next. What do you see? You work across the aisle up on Capitol Hill. There's a lot of pointed elbows, but there's also a lot of vitriol around the country. At this moment, what do you think the message should be to America?
Well, the message should be, number one, let's look in the mirror for sure, and everybody ought to why. What makes our country great is that we do have political differences, and we can express them. But how do you express them, Brett? You express them vocally. You can vote, by the way. Part of the most powerful way you can express differences is by voting. But violence is not the answer. Any kind of violence, whether it's shootings, stabbings, hitting somebody. That's not the way we resolve our differences. And everybody ought to denounce that, Brett. I think that's the first thing we all should do is denounce what just happened to Charlie Kirk, regardless of what you think of his politics, that nobody should think that's okay. And for anybody who's thinking of doing something like that, go just check what the foundation of this country is really about. And it's not that.
Yep. Laura said to us moments ago, and she was dear friends with him and had him on just a couple of days ago, that he was irreplaceable. You think that's true?
He's a one of one. I mean, Charlie was an inspirational person. Charlie was a visionary. I mean, Charlie really saw as a student, I mean, he recognized as a student on a college campus that something's going wrong on college campuses where they're trying to indoctrinate, not educate people. And ultimately he walked away from that because he didn't feel like it was worth his time to stay there. He wanted to go and do something about it. And that's when he started Turning Point USA. He actually started a movement, which how many young people do that? Not many. It takes a very special person, frankly, a person that is able to inspire other people, which Charlie did, to bring people into that movement. And he brought them first by the tens and then by the hundreds and ultimately by the thousands in campuses all across this country. And, you know, Charlie's gone and it's going to hurt all of us, but his legacy will never be forgotten. We can't let that movement die because it's so important that young people feel attached to what they believe in and not be afraid to express it, whether it's on a college campus or supporting a candidate of their choice.
Mr. Leader, we thought it was important to bring you in today, especially.
I think we're going to go into a session here where there may be an actual perp walk.
With your unique perspective, and we really appreciate the time.
God bless you. Thank you, Brent.
I just don't want to do it. I just don't, because it's switching from 1 hour to another, and I can't live stream a live stream while it's live. You know what I mean? So we're minutes away from it.
Our panel, Fox News contributor Guy Benson, Democratic campaign consultant Kevin Walling, Mary Catherine Ham, also a Fox News contributor, and Fox News contributor Ben Domenech, host of the Big Ben podcast. Mary Catherine, I'm going to start with you. We all knew Charlie Kirk, all had interactions with him one way or another. Your thoughts on this day?
Yes,
and
it's
where
terrible.
Yeah, I think I'm gutted. First and foremost, we pray for his family, for his wife Erica and his kids, and I know he knew the Lord, and I know she does, and I just want to say that he will be with Erica and their kids, even when it seems impossible in this darkest hour. So that's my first thought. Watching Charlie debate on campus, and now knowing that as Spencer Cox, as Governor Cox says, that this was an assassination while debating on a campus, is so sad for the America I love and the ideas that I love, and the idea that spreading ideas is beautiful. And that
I mean, there's a lot of things that I agreed with, just like there's a few things that I didn't agree with. But it's overall, William, I think this man had a good heart. He had a good mind, and he might have been loyal to MAGA. You know, like I said, the political side of all this, it really don't make a difference to me. But it's what he felt about the nuclear family, about our country, our sovereignty, and how every other country with the double standard is sitting around talking about how they can have their sovereignty, but the big R comes in when you defend it with Title VIII, with law and facts, and they can't, you know, they can't come back with something in their science, and their science just like dissolves right in front of them. And that is why I believe that man was shot.
he went and civilly and energetically debated with all comers on all campuses. I'm going to borrow some words in saying that we want maximum tolerance of points of view and zero tolerance of violence. And particularly on college campuses, we've reversed that. For many years, it has been very minimal tolerance of points of view and too much tolerance of violence. And a lot of people have convinced themselves that words from people they disagree with are an existential threat to them. Charlie's words were not an existential threat, but it turns out that he faced one. And now we have a family that is grieving, and many of us who grieve with them.
Yeah, we all do. Guy, it was amazing to see him around the country say, if you disagree with me, come to the front of the line and let's talk it out. And sometimes it got heated. Other times it was a really cordial discussion. You can go online and see a million of them around the country and actually around the world. Your thoughts today?
Yeah, Charlie was
Batman, you are absolutely right. Thank you for saying what you're saying. And I am a free speech advocate, and there's a lot of people in the 1A community that just ain't down with this, and I don't care what they think. This is my channel, and I'll let people talk any way they want to on my channel. I probably would not let you disrespect the dead here, even though I am not political, and I did vote for Donald Trump. I ain't gonna lie. And if I had to do it over again, I'd do it. Considering the circumstances that we had, the lineup we had there with her, there ain't no way that I would let somebody worse than Joe Biden get in there. That's nuts.
very special talent, and it is surreal and so disturbing, as Laura pointed out earlier, to be discussing him in the past tense. It doesn't feel real, but it is. I met Charlie a long time ago when he was a teenager, and I was just starting my career in Chicago. And he was starting this fledgling group of young people. He asked me to come speak to a room full of high schoolers. Might have been his first ever event, one of the very first. And
there's one of our friends, William.
We struck up a bit of a friendship, and I remember he asked me for my advice when he was 16 or 17 about going to college. And I took a very traditional line.
You there, William?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
And I said, I think you're bright and precocious. I think you should go get a degree, and politics will be waiting for you on the other side. And he was smart enough to completely reject my advice. And he started this organization.
There you go.
That is extraordinary. And he has
now,
and
conceding that is it takes a man to concede that, sometimes you just got to give people their props, and it's sad that you have to wait until the guy expires to do so. It's sad.
Legions of supporters and followers and fans who are grieving, who are shocked, who are angry, who are fearful, I think, for the country. But what he built, and it again feels so bizarre to be eulogizing him, but what he built is part of his legacy, but also part of that legacy, more importantly, is a husband and a father.
Yeah. Ben,
so let me go.
let
me see if I can go into the next hour. Hold up.
Tonight, it's a tough night here at Fox News Channel. We all rest in peace. The Younger Mangle is next.
Charlie Kirk, he died today, doing what he loved, talking to students and
today. So this is yesterday's stuff. We don't want that. So let me go back into my TV here, and we will go to today's. There we go.
Yeah, who's on at 10 o'clock on Fox?
Plus get a.
That's Greg. Greg would be on right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
I'm just gonna go to see if they caught anybody here in the hour of. Let's see. I think we got something right here. Hold up. All right, there's a picture of the dude that they haven't, or they're looking for. This is either the assassin. It says now. Look, it says
board for info.
Let's see. Now, frantic manhunt for Charlie Kirk's assassin. So they believe that this guy's it.
Yeah,
FBI
he's a
Salt Lake
suspect.
City. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's a suspect until they're guilty.
Yeah.
information. Police say the suspect appeared to be college age and blended in on this campus. And if you look at the photo of the person of interest, they appear to have on a long, dark shirt, which lines up with eyewitness accounts, video, and even dispatch audio, which describe the suspect as wearing dark clothing. We noticed no apparent glove.
Not really. More for his family.
Gloves on in the photo, so
he there ain't no pain for him. It's his wife and his child that's got to go on without a father for some stupid political rhetoric that people can't handle.
Anything the suspect may have
butthurt,
touched,
little crybaby,
could have left behind DNA or fingerprints. Today, law enforcement announced it recovered a high-powered bolt action.
I agree with that. Release the Epstein files. Why not? Trump said that he was going to do it a long time ago. Why didn't he do it?
Rifle in a wooded area where the shooter fled. They also picked up foot and forearm imprints. And live here on the ground at Utah Valley University, the white
I got some prints in here, boy.
tent that Charlie Kirk was inside of, now a terribly grim image. That tent has been standing here throughout the day. And our understanding is that Charlie Kirk's casket will fly on Air Force 2 from here to Utah to Arizona, where Charlie and his wife and children were living, and also were.
Hey, this guy don't know me from Adam, right? And he hates my guts just because I said that. And he don't even give a fuck that I'm not political, right? He just, it's because I got a little humanity in me and I care for people. And I do have some conservative values. Ain't that a B?
Yep.
Turning point was based. Laura.
Fucking people.
Matt, thank you very much. So this is what we know. The gunman was on a roof about.
That might have been the girl. I'm sorry, ma'am. If you feel that way, I try not to piss too many people off. You know what I mean? But, ma'am, if that upsets you that much, are you were you the one with that short lady with the short hair holding on to a telephone pole, screaming when Hillary lost the election? Was that you? I'm just curious.
200 yards away when he took the shot that killed Charlie Kirk. We got drone footage. It shows that he had a completely unobstructed view of Charlie's Prove Me Wrong tent. And that entire area was filled with people. Thousands of them showed up to hear him speak, as they often did. And
there was a guy stealing mega hats. Hey, it's capitalism, man. Can you blame the guy? That's capitalism, guys. I'm not gonna hate on him.
These were the last words they heard as this monster got ready to take Charlie's life.
I mean, it might be a bad taste, but it is what it is, right? Here's where he got assassinated.
Shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence?
Seconds later, Charlie was shot.
Gunshots heard near the library at UVU. And let's be advised, UVU in Orem has had an active shooter at the Charlie Kirk event.
As the crowd dropped to the ground for cover and people rushed to Charlie's aid, the shooter made a run for it. He was seen shortly after lying on the roof, hiding in plain sight. Somehow, bizarre, he eventually escaped into the woods.
The CS building is just east of the library. He's wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long rifle.
Here with analysis from Orem, Utah, is Paul Morrow, former NYPD inspector and Fox News contributor. Also with me, Jay Collins, a Florida lieutenant governor and former Green Beret, familiar with these incredibly complex and frustrating outdoor areas where snipers can take clean shots of their intended targets. Paul, I want to start with you. You're on the ground there. What have you learned since you've landed?
Well, as you articulated, Laura,
I think you're onto something there, Brackett. Is that your name? Brackett. Because they all repeated everything that Donald Trump's saying. All those Dixiecrats that you're talking about, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, even the Bushes, they got in a little bit of that. Even the Obamas. Well, he was the deporter in chief until Donald Trump actually just last month beat his record. Yeah, I think you're right.
Press conference was scheduled for earlier today, and then it was canceled because of quote unquote fast breaking information that was coming in. And now we're awaiting Dan and Cash to come in, and they likely will run this press conference. My gut tells me that you don't get the two top people in the agency coming here to say we have nothing. So I do think we'll get an update. Looks like they have some solid stuff, but according to what I'm hearing right now, they do not have a name. And so they haven't really zeroed in on where they want to go on this. They have a pretty good travel log on what this shooter did subsequent to the shooting, where he went. But as of now, nobody has come forward in response to that photo, and they're still plugging away on all fronts. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, it's hard to see that photo clearly. There's all sorts of conjecture online, which we're not going to get into tonight. Jay, we understand that there are CCTV images regularly, supposedly monitored of this university setting, this college setting. And one would think that in a situation like this, those cameras would have been up, running, and monitored. But for whatever reason, these images weren't caught sufficiently, or were they were not monitored sufficiently for us to get a clear look at who was on that roof.
Yeah, Laura, that's obviously a huge gap in what went on there. And thank you for having me on here today. You would think that somewhere there is going to be video imagery that shows a clear line of sight, a clear visual of what the shooter looks like, whether it's coming down through the stairs somewhere out there. You got to hope, you got to think that somewhere out there, there's some sort of image that we haven't seen yet. But yes, it's a problem. Something that obviously should have been looked at a little bit closer going in. But, this is a kinetic situation. It's difficult. There was mass chaos, and hopefully they dig those things up. But we got to bring this guy to justice.
Jay, just of your experience as a Green Beret, tell us about that shot as you can envision it with your ability to do so tonight. People say, oh, he had to be a sniper. Did he? He didn't have to be a sniper to take that shot, did he? If nobody was coming up to him and no one was disturbing him?
Yeah, Laura, you're spot on. Look, he was using a 30-06 rifle with a 4x to 8x zoom. That's what it looked like in terms of a scope. That's a pretty standard projectile. For that kind of shot, for someone who's used the rifle a couple of times, I think you could safely make that shot and get targets where you wanted to and rounds where you wanted to. Unfortunately, somebody with a little experience can make that shot happen. And it was unobstructed, to your point. They had drop from the rooftop into the target zone. And unfortunately, in this case, it cost America a living legend in Charlie, and someone who was brave enough to use his voice for good.
Paul, we know multiple people were taken into custody yesterday and then released. And a lot of people wondering, was that just a waste of precious time when the real shooter was meanwhile, sauntering away?
What the hell's going on here?
Well, look, Laura, every investigation
Something's going on.
Blind alleys. The difference in this case is that they were more public than you usually get. Director Patel was being particularly transparent in what they were doing and what was going on. And so the information came out and it looked like they had somebody at one point there. But this happens in many, many investigations. I do think that they're making progress. And I do think that the videotape that they pulled the still from is one of the real things here that is almost certainly going to be how we're going to get.
You're asking for, he says, brother, I'm asking for your solutions, but you guys don't care. I agree. A lot of people don't care, but I don't know about you, but I'm the average person out here that I'm a disabled man with the 13.2 thousand volts went through me and killed me. I'm on supplemental income, and StreamYards for me to do my activism takes my whole check because it's over $1,000. Okay, so if you guys want solutions, I'm out here trying to bring people together so we can talk. That's why I took your statement and put it up there. And you're sitting here with the smiles about it. I'm real. If there is some solutions to this, it would have to be people on both sides need to de-escalate, take a step back, go to somebody in your life that you trust that has wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and sit down and go over their logic on what their solutions would be. Now that is if that ain't good solid advice for you, I don't know what is. What do you think, William?
Yeah. I mean, we all got to listen. We all have different opinions, and the solution is we all work together, right? And try to figure that out.
Exactly.
Because, you got, everybody's blaming it on guns, but you know what? It's the people that get a hold of them that shouldn't. And, maybe we should try to help the American people and try to figure out how to help the people that are out on the streets that do stuff like this. Because, I mean, come on now, for words to hurt somebody to go out and do what he did over words or whatever his thing was, that's sad for this country.
Yes. That's why they got a death penalty for that. It's ridiculous.
It's a sad thing. And I didn't agree with everything this kid said, but you know what? I enjoyed watching and listening to him sometimes.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Because he was genuine about what he was saying.
Yeah, he seemed like a true human being that cared, that tried to get people to care, and look what happened. And that goes back to your jealousy. Would you kind of line that up with maybe this guy was jealous of him?
Oh, most definitely. Look at all the success that Turning Point was making at the time. Turning Point was making so much. He took the rest of his life off. He quit his jobs and donated it to go to these places to sit in the four cornerstones of our society and our existence. That's 250-year-old Constitution that gives us free speech, free enterprise, free ideas, freedom of religion, freedom to assemble, freedom to redress your government, freedom of press. That's what I do, and of course, freedom of religion. So, you got your 5 elements there. And hey, look, if you're down with it, if you love it, if you're from this country, a lot of people come in here and they're not even from this country, and some make some really good comments, and then some are just really out there. And what I'm saying to Europe is, I believe that European people are so jealous because their immigration issue that we're having now has literally taken and changed their way of life. And now they are more of a Muslim state than they are anything. And that happened through marginalization and intimidation. And I don't mind. I don't mind people observing their religion, but I don't believe that you should be killing in the name of it, nor should you be killing in the name of your sex. What you identify as, and it's just flat out asinine and ridiculous and furthermore, it's redundant. Let me go ahead and put this back on. We'll listen to some more of this here for sure.
Get there. Somebody's going to recognize him. Somebody probably already has. And my understanding is that they're still sitting on video that they have not released. That video likely would show, let's say, the walk. So even if you're on the fence, walks are very, very telling. People recognize them. So if we don't get something soon, expect more videotape, maybe something about where the scope and the rifle came from. Scopes can be bought separate. They can trace this kind of thing. They have a number of nodes to go down here, and it's not like they have not made any progress. It looks to me like they can track him leaving campus. They can use the video to get him leaving campus. It goes dark when he leaves campus and gets out into the neighborhood. And according to what I've heard, likely was hopping backyards, still in the area. Then you have to assume maybe he got hold of a vehicle, got to a bicycle, a motorcycle, whatever, and then he got out of Dodge.
Lieutenant Governor, President Trump spoke tonight about the importance of safety. Watch.
Are you concerned for your own safety?
Not really. I'm really concerned for our country. We have a great country. We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics, and we're going to get that problem solved. I'm only concerned for the country. Yeah.
He's only concerned for the country, but the truth is tonight there are a lot of people who are very concerned about the state of discourse in the United States and the ramped up left-wing threats and violence and language that people are marinating in. I'm going to get into some of this in the end.
This has reminded me so much of the Kennedy assassination. And, my mother, she was one of those women that were crying. Do you remember your mother crying, William, back in the Kennedy assassination? Or do you remember?
No, I don't really remember back that far.
Do you remember kids or your family members bringing it up during that time? Because
yeah, my grandmother and grandfather talked about it all the time.
That's my whole point. And it's same thing with Elvis. When Elvis died, all these people just they loved him. Same thing with Michael Jackson. They loved him. He was one of these iconic figures that people loved, and one of a kind type of people. It's not even a dying breed. There's nobody really like him.
Angle, because I'm very, very, very angry about this tonight. What was done to him, and this idea of this equivalency argument everyone's trying to make. Bull.
Yeah, Laura, look, we have to look out for our nation. It's out of many one. Coming up on the 250th anniversary of this nation, our unique American principles, ideas, ideals, they matter. And I'm grateful that President Trump has the commitment, the courage, and frankly, the candor to speak about America first. But one, we got to make sure he stays safe. We protect him. He's doing an incredible job at serving our nation and leading from the front.
No, you got three choices. You don't get into politics at all, and you say what you want to say. And I'm still an individual with constitutional rights inside of a constitutional republic. I don't have to participate in voting for either one of them. Once in a while I do, sometimes I don't. It is what it is.
But
I do what I do because I'm a free-thinking American.
We as conservatives, as the Republican Party, we've got to remember who Charlie was, what he fought for, how he used his voice to draw people together. The last things he talked about were God and love and making a difference in our communities and our country.
Agreed.
I think his
they are violent people.
example will live on far beyond the scope of time relative to how long he would have lived if this tragic event hadn't happened. He was a legend in our times, and I'm grateful for what he did. But we have to remember that, and we have to honor that, and we got to make sure that sacrifice is worthwhile.
Yeah, Paul, we understand that Air Force Two has left Utah, carrying the body of Charlie Kirk, returning him home where he lived with his wife and his two children. He set down roots there. It's where Turning Point was headquartered, and the scenes along the roadway there.
I mean, I got so many. I have so many. Because I like to read all. Forgive me. I like to read all my comments, and there's just so many of them. I'm barely caught up yet.
I mean, if you're not crying watching that, I don't see how you have a whole heart.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it here, even in the area where we are set up to do the media. There are students coming around tying yellow ribbons and red ribbons on trees. There are people coming up to us offering me condolences. I only met them once, as I recall. People feel it here. But, you know, unfortunately, people don't want to come forward too much, though, because they know that there is a violent contingent out there. And Laura, you and I both know, and I think this flew beneath the radar screen for a lot of people. For the young in this nation who listened to him at college and even earlier, I have family members in high school who listened to him. This is a JFK moment. For them, this is somebody they really loved and they really looked to. And for them, this is going to be one of those things where they're going to say, where were you when that happened? And what that means is, that means that this shooter is going to get exactly what he did not want.
Exactly. So let me fast forward, because that hour has expired, and now I can see if he actually is caught or not. Let's go. Let's see.
But now, almost a quarter century later, things have deteriorated.
Oh, so now we're going back to 9/11. You know, those of you that were alive during 9/11, it was. I'll never forget that day as well. And unfortunately, a lot of people lost their lives, you know, because of, here we go, another ideology, another fanatic, another Orwellian totalitarian that says, if you don't believe my way, I'm going to make you. So I'm going to go unlive 3,000 people, because that's exactly what they did. What do you think, William?
Yeah, I remember that day when them towers come down. That was not a good day. I don't think anybody's ever going to forget that.
All right. I'm going to do a poll here. Let me do a poll. How many people believe that most people I'm not talking about the whole country of America. How many people believe? Let me see if I could do this. Where's my poll thing? Is that chat? Let me see. Chat filter. All messages. All right. How do I do my? Did it yesterday. Let's see. Come on. Why won't it let me do this? Hey, you know, y'all need to hit that like button, man. It helps with the algorithms. Come on. Why can't I get a... Do you remember how to do it? How to do the poll? Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know how to do the polls.
I did yesterday, and
yeah, you did it pretty quick yesterday.
Yeah, 4,000
When did it?
people. You know, let me see something here. Search your subscriptions home. Sure. Let's see. No, you dummy. Damn it. Do I gotta do it on what I went live on? Maybe I gotta do it on what I went live on. So let me see. Hold up. Let's see. Create poll. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play this while we're doing this.
And in the wake of Charlie Kirk's targeted assassination, we've seen moving tributes pour in for sure, but the unity we need eludes us. Instead, yesterday and into today, we saw an unprecedented flood of evil across social media. Left-wing radicals snarked, laughed, even danced, mocking Charlie, celebrating his murder. They said he deserved it. It enraged us. But Charlie, he probably wouldn't have been surprised.
At the core of the left, at the core of a liberal, is someone that would use the sword if they had it. They are very violent people at their core. They can't debate. They can't have conversations. So they'll resort to these tactics. They're going to do everything they possibly can to try to murder this movement because they can't beat us. So they're going to try to take weapons. And no, we're very aware of that. I'm aware of it. We have to have full-time security. This is not a joke.
Wow.
Well, we learned that was not a joke at all. But what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with them? What happened to them? I kept asking myself that last 24 hours. What happened to them? Is it bad parenting? Is it a lack of God? Was it bad schools? Too much time online? A combination? Video game? I don't know what it is. Drugs?
All of the above.
It's not enough, though, to ask why they hated Charlie so much. The better question is, why do they hate America so much? Because whoever shot or planned Charlie's murder, first and foremost, hated America. Tonight, many of you are still processing this. For millions of young people, I've heard from so many over the last 24 hours, seeing Charlie
Here's the
slain
question. Here's the question. Do people in this chat believe New Yorkers forgot 9/11? Here we go. I'm going to start the poll. Please participate. Thank you.
Camera was like seeing a family member slain on camera. You all grew up with him. He was ubiquitous on their social media feed, offering advice. He offered wisdom, humor, arguments for American exceptionalism. And last night and tonight,
we're not talking about the whole country. We're talking about in New York.
Prayer vigils are being held across this nation.
God bless America. Remember, we're not talking about America. We're talking about New York. Let me make sure you understand that question. Do people in this chat believe that New Yorkers forgot 9/11? Oh, sweet home.
More vigils being held tonight on college campuses and private schools, public schools even. And this would have made Charlie very happy, especially the prayer. I can almost hear his voice. It's another powerful sign, Laura. We're winning. Watching him mature from a lanky teenager to a man and then to a political and a cultural icon was itself a gift. But the personal...
Let's see if I'm gonna go a little forward to see if we I would like to see a perp walk. I want to show you guys a perp walk if I can, if you don't mind. Let's see if we can catch up to that. Maybe it's already on Hannity. I don't know. So the president came out today and talked a little bit. Let's see what he said at Yankee Stadium here.
Like you're great players. I know every one of you. Let me shake hands around here. Come on. Shake their hands. Shake their hands.
That was President Trump stopping by the New York Yankees clubhouse just a short while ago ahead of their game and tonight's, of course, 9/11 commemoration. No matter how difficult the day is, Trump still finds time to bring some levity.
I wish it was a little bit bigger, you know. A little bit bigger. What I did.
You know, that poll is it's pretty close, 52-48.
Baseball.
I will rephrase that poll here in a minute.
Has always brought the nation together.
I'm going to let
triumphs, tragedies, and that could
one or two more minutes, and I'm going to change it.
Be truer this week. Before last night's game, the Yankees held a moment
if you haven't voted, please vote.
Silence to honor Charlie Kirk. He was an avid sports fan. Here to weigh in is someone who's felt those unforgettable moments on the field, Johnny Damon, two-time World Series champ, former New York Yankee. Johnny, there's so much emotion tonight. Baseball is about joy and the love of the game. But why is it that baseball itself has such a unique way of drawing Americans.
So he said Charlie was a hate monger. Can you please explain that to me, ST? I don't want to butcher your name. You got to remember he's an American, and if you're outside this country or you're one of those people that were let in this country illegally, I have no beef with immigration. We are an immigration. We are a country of immigrants, but we're also a country of law. And Title 8, double I, triple I, written in the 1900s, all the way to 1927, was very specific in illegal aliens as defined in Title 8 under that constitutional provision. Do you understand that? So if, just like I guarantee it, if you're from another country, I promise you they have the same sovereignty, and they're probably a lot more stricter about their policies when they're broke than we are. They would probably end up hurting us. They would hurt you. Yes, I'm native. No, I'm not I'm not a Native American, but I'm a native in this country. I was born here. My mother was born here. My father was born here. Actually born in New York.
Together, especially on a day like today.
Just like that Ukrainian woman escaping the war in Ukraine. My great-great-grandfather escaped the Nazi war in Germany and then come over and put on a U.S. uniform and went back and killed our own people. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, today was very difficult. Thank you for having me.
And they were marginalized just like the left is now. They're no different. Same ideology. If you don't believe in us, we'll get somebody to tell on you, and we'll make you take this drug, and you will take this weapon, and you will go out and fight, or we'll put one in you right here. Because that's what they did. What do you think? What do you think the draft is over here?
It's America's pastime. A lot of families flock to baseball games. There's a lot of these games. There's 162 during the regular season. So a lot of families get together. They go watch baseball, but sports in general brings a nation back together. I mean, what happened yesterday and what happened 24 years ago.
You know what? You have free speech here, Elizabeth. You could talk about whatever you want to talk about. Those poor kids. It's sad. I brought it up yesterday. That happened yesterday. I brought it up the day of. But I guess we're sorry. I'm not perfect. I'm human too. We're desensitized. Just like the left is, because that's why they don't care. That's why you're doing the thing. You think I don't know what that means? That you're trying to get a talking point out. And I told you, if you paid attention, Wolvie is. I'm not political. I talk to Republicans more, just as much, or if not more, than the Democrats. Ain't that right, William L?
Yeah, it is. Yep. Yep. You're neither of them. I'm neither of them. We've talked about it many a time.
That's why we get along, because we don't support neither party. We tell them what my favorite saying is when I put the numbers, the 435 people in the 100 people in the Senate and 435 people in Congress. Tell her what I think about them people and what I say all the time.
Pretty much they're all the same. They're both. They're both equal. They're both the same.
They're all guilty and should be what? What do I say? Come on, you've heard me say it.
You put me on the spot there.
No, you could say, okay, you remember me saying, if it was up to me, I would charge them all with treason and put the death
Yeah,
penalty.
they all should be charged with treason. Yeah, they've lied so many times over the years, and
Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now, Elizabeth? Because here's my here is my logic, and nobody in this chat or anybody that you know will never beat this logic. You got the left wing and you got the right wing, right? You follow me? And they're flying, right? And then you got the head of the bird. It's only got one brain. You think they're not the same? You think they're not enabling each other? Yeah, I know exactly. Exactly. I know a lot of people are agreeing with me right now. You will not beat that logic. And that's the facts. I'm not a sucker. I'm just a good slave that pays my taxes. I ain't gonna lie.
So am I.
Taxes. Yeah, I pay under $5,000 a year to be in my home that I paid cash for back 6 years ago. You know, and you got to remember, I'm a guy that was, I'm an electrocution patient. Elizabeth, what was it? 13.2 thousand volts went through me and killed me. You can look me up. Adam Dillinger. The man who should be dead by, here, let me just put, here, let's just bring this up real quick. The man who should have been dead by electric shock live and well in Lincoln Park. That shit, it comes up every time because it's the facts. My shit made the news. And where'd it go? It just disappeared. On with your game. All right, here it goes. Let's put these back over here. All right, here we go. Let's bring this up. Let's share this. I don't mind sharing this because this is what it is. That's the first thing. You put that verbatim in there, that's what's going to come up. And this is the story. This is me, published January 3rd on my birthday. Okay? It took my left hand and wrapped around, and it took my right hand, and it pulled. I pulled my buddies and lost control of it. And I told him to let go. So, but what about Adam? Huell says. I don't know if you know Huell from Fox 2. He's asking Andrea. She goes, I didn't let go in time, he said. I saved him, but he could not save himself. I didn't know at that time. I thought it was the middle line, which is 4,800 volts. It's not. It was the top line. DTE came and told me. So that story's there. I'm not here to be the professional victim, but trust me, I'm a victim. I was electrocuted and I died many, many, many times. I was dead before I hit the ground. 13.2 thousand volts went through my body and exited everywhere. Third degree burns over 70% of my body. It's all there. It's all there. I even had a GoFundMe at the time. Do not give to that GoFundMe. Thank you. If you want to give to my channel, you're more than welcome to do so. But I'm the real deal Holyfield here. And I don't use it against people. There are so many ableists in this world that are just pure evil. Elizabeth, you hear me, girl? You hear what I'm saying to you now? I'm 54 years old. I got a little wisdom, man. I got a little following. I'm not trying to chase too much clout. But I do appreciate the people that do support me. And thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for caring about Charlie. Thank you for caring about those 2 people that died. Thank you. We appreciate that. Like I said, I'm not political, but I do agree with a lot of his science because it's a fact. You got a Johnson bigger than mine, you're a man. I want to hear that crap. Let's see. Where was I here? Where'd it go, bro? What was we watching? YouTube TV, right? Yeah. Damn, did I lose it?
Yeah, we were on what's her name?
Yeah, YouTube TV.
Laura's.
Yeah, but where is it? Where's my YouTube TV? I think I gotta log back into this stupid shit now. This shit's so expensive too. Hold up. Let me look. This is it right here. Hold on. Let me go back.
Yeah, you were looking to see if you can get perp walk.
Yeah, I want to get that perp walk. Craig's live now, so I'm gonna look at the end of Laura. Where are you at, Laura? Laura, where are you? I just had you up, Laura. Damn it. And I don't even like her either. I think she's a narcissist. But they get specific information because those other people, what's her name that was just in here, Elizabeth, when you said, that attitude, they won't show it because of on those other channels. So I'm going to take that down. So we got 50%, 50-50 on that. Here, I'll take a picture of that on that poll. And I'm going to start another poll here in a second. As soon as I get back to what we were on. I'm sorry. Where the heck are you? Damn it. That was on Laura, right? Ingraham.
Yeah. Yep.
Ingraham.
Yeah, you were like halfway through, 3/4 of the way through. Yeah, about halfway, I think, when you stopped.
Ingraham. Let's see if that'll come up. Oh, shit. Well, where do you do it? Where do you put it at? Okay. You gonna let me dismiss? All right, here's my search. All right. Paste. There we go. And I got it. Your version. Okay. We got it. Based on the plan. All right. Today is the 11th. September.
Yeah, my mom's birthday. She was born on September 11th.
Why do I have September 12th in here?
Hope it's 11th.
What the? Hey, man. This ain't cool, dog. Hold up a second, man. For some reason, it's not. Let me see. All right. All right. This is it. All right. Everything's locked. September. Where? So. It literally has the 12th in here, but not the 11th. I wonder if that's a mistake. Oh, I get it. It don't have the right settings, if you know what I mean. I gotta go to that other and turn it on there, and then it'll automatically probably just pop up and make me look retarded. Okay. Yeah, that's what happened. All right, it went to Wolverine transparency instead of yeah. All right, Ingraham. All right, so this was today, 3 hours. All right, so let's see if we can see a perp walk here. All right, that was the president doing his thing at the ball game. I'm gonna fast forward that. I'm sure nobody wants to see that. There is a vigil here at the emergency room where his body is being taken out from. I mean, I don't like focusing on all that. That's depressing, man. And it hurts. It does. It's just there's something wrong with it though. You know what I mean? All right. So there is a Fox alert here. Let's go to the Fox alert. Let's see. Let's go to the Fox alert. Go to StreamYards. Get rid of that. Get rid of that, and then put this back up. Man, my job, man. I don't get paid enough for this. Let's see. Son of a BB. TV.
Yeah, I don't know how North and Mountain Girl do all that shit over there. All that music and stuff.
Oh, that's easy. I could do that.
Yeah.
I got that
Yeah, that's
program
great.
that they're on.
Yeah, they work their ass off over there on that stuff.
Once you put it down, though, it gets pretty easy. It'll take me a half hour or an hour or maybe 3 hours to get it. But once I get it, it'll take me 15 minutes. That's just how it is. Because, I've been doing this a while. All right. So, because I know all kinds of shit about my studio. All right, let's see what happens.
It's not poof, it stinks.
This is a Fox News alert. Air Force Two just landed moments ago in Phoenix, Arizona. Vice President Vance is there with Charlie Kirk's family and is bringing Charlie's remains home. Here with reaction, Raymond Arroyo, Fox News contributor, also got to know Charlie over the years. Raymond, there's so many aspects of this that we're all trying to unpack. Your reaction as we watch his remains return home.
Now, beautiful gesture on the part of J.D. Vance, who was very close to Charlie, wanted to bring him home, and Erica and the children, and this was, what a beautiful gesture. But the thing that hasn't been mentioned, Laura, people have mentioned Charlie's faith, but when you listen to the evolution of his conversations on those campuses, he went from pushing policy and the free market to really being an evangelist for traditional morality, marriage, and having children young. That's what was resonating with young people on campuses. And there's a part of me that watching this the other day thought, there's something diabolical about the way this went down. The devil hated that part of Charlie Kirk, who was really he was the living embodiment of his faith in many ways. He was the walking advertisement for the life he was advocating. And young people were listening. Today and last night, I talked to so many young people on campuses, those my children go to and those in the area where I live. I'm stunned. Most of the people and young men say, we're in.
Virtual signaling for you or anybody else is something that I call out in my own community. I'm in the A1 community, and I hear a lot of virtual signaling. Let me tell you this, and I'm not trying to appease you because I can give a fuck if you want to stay or not. How about that? You can dismiss yourself if you want, or you could stay and listen to this fact, right? Because I don't get butthurt. I think Donald Trump is a narcissist. I think that guy don't give two shits about me and my family. I don't think the Republican Party gives two shits about my family. I don't think that the left gives two shits about my family. I don't think you give two shits about my family. Are we understood? You take your partisan, leave it at the door, or get the out of here.
Inspired by this, he's not going away. They think they took down Charlie Kirk, the political operator on campus. Guess what? They created hundreds of Charlie Kirks. And these young people are telling me, I'm not going to hide who I am or what I believe. I'm going to live life to the full and with faith.
His family,
including Erica
man,
and Vice President Vance, walking off the Air Force Two.
I'm glad my wife made her to be crying her eyes out.
Gut punch doesn't begin to describe this, Raymond. It just doesn't. But I'm so glad you said that.
Don't get me wrong. My wife is a solid, bona fide Republican, and I'm still a registered Democrat. Ain't that crazy? But I don't vote Democratic.
Family and children and life. It's one thing to talk about.
When I do, I vote like, you know, my Kim Worthy, my DA, a few judges downtown, and because they ain't with all that cashless bail shit like they are everywhere else. People are still, how would I put it? They still got some common sense. Kim Worthy still got some common sense. She ain't letting these crazy, you know, people that just got done shooting 3 people and running up their own mama. You know what I mean? That's got a deportation hold and let them go. She don't let them go. She'll call ICE. And she's in a sanctuary city too. She just has different beliefs. If you need saving, the bare minimum is to stay the fuck out of trouble. That, I mean, if you're in a country, unless you're stealing a steak or something to eat, that's the bare minimum that you should get caught doing. That's bad in this country. I think what's understood don't need to be explained. I'm going to move on.
I'm pro-life. It's another.
I do have my biases, but I keep them to myself. I love immigration. I think these guys need to work on it. I think we need to at least 100,000 people a year. But I think we should close our border for 15 years. Get our shit. Get people to assemble again like every other country does in the world. You know, and if you ask the average non-person that's not marginalized in the UK that is Caucasian, they're scared to death. They are scared to death. They are marginalized and they're scared. And it causes them to take it out on their representatives and police. So that's why they have their little defund the police dumb shit. But yet they're calling them to help save them. Help! This Arab's cutting me. You know, it's just so stupid.
The thing to advocate for it.
Now tell me I ain't telling the truth. Tell me I ain't telling the truth, William. Tell me I ain't telling the truth.
As he did in the public square.
No, you're telling it.
It is what it is.
I think a lot of these people that really don't know what the hell they're even talking about are just repeating what the next person's saying next to them. And all these rallies and all this crap. Defund this, defund that. They have no fucking clue. Whoops, sorry about my language, but they don't have any clue. You know?
Every once in a while it's good. That's no big deal. Yeah. Well, racism is hate speech. So is ableism. They run parallel together. Trust me, a lot of people are ableist against me. And they don't understand that exploiting your supremacy and thinking you're superior to me and discriminating against me, just like a racist would somebody of color, or vice versa, somebody of color, because a lot of black people think they are justified in their hate. And let me tell you something, they are not. And when the Lord Jesus comes, they're going to burn in hell just like those other races. And I rest my case on that. You can't fight fire with fire and that type of fire. You don't fight racism with racism. That's not
100% correct.
going to work. That is insanity.
Yep.
About 15 seconds.
And pursue his faith, Lord. You know, he attended the Catholic Mass with his wife over the last few months. He was clearly searching. We had exchanged texts about doctrine and church
Nobody's
fathers.
promoting
He
murder.
was searching, and I think he was just growing into this great role. God bless him. God bless his family. And I know his legacy goes on and on.
Raymond, thank you very much. That is it for us tonight.
Yeah, but tell me what it is that would make you think that he wasn't such a good person. What's one thing that you didn't like? Okay, and I won't make fun of you. I won't ostracize you. If you stay straight with me, Elizabeth, I will definitely have you. I'll make you a mod. I'll make you a head mod on my channel. Okay, because I need people that's very diverse, that believes in what I believe. Freedom. Hate speech is not freedom. It's a crime.
It causes division.
Yes. And Charlie did not speak hate speech. He had people on their science and he debunked them. And they couldn't do nothing about it. And Generation C loved him.
Yeah, because he talked about God, family, and morals, right?
That's what I was talking about, the nuclear family, yes.
That's what really pretty much made this country was God, family, having morals, right?
Yeah. He says, why do you people care so much about your political figures? From Canada. I got you. I don't want to explain it. It's not my job to. Probably the DEA trying to get me to say something. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm trying to read what they're saying in there.
Right there, right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. I ain't explaining nothing to you. I plead the fifth. I don't answer questions. Anyways, yeah, that's a setup there. I ain't going for it. Yeah, RIP for sure. Yep. Somebody else on the chat. That's a mod that I know that's a good representation of this channel. You're more than welcome to entertain that question about that person. Go ahead, but I'm not going to because that's not what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna go to the next cast. All right. So let's get out of that, and we're gonna go to the next cast here, and so that would be this dummy over here. I can't stand this guy. I do not like him. I can't stand Hannity, but you never know. He might have the perp walk because they're supposed to have him.
Welcome to.
Let me make sure that this is all the way through. Yes, it is. All right. That shit right there triggers people, William. If I did that 10 more times, I'd have people cussing me out.
Welcome to Hannity, and tonight we begin with this Fox News alert. Huge breaking developments at this hour. Any moment, we are awaiting a press conference with the very latest on the investigation. We have just learned that Kash Patel has, in fact, arrived on the campus and is on the scene, and we expect to hear from him. And moments ago, TMZ obtained new video footage via a homeowner.
Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. This is what we all been waiting for, y'all. Say thanks, Wolvie. Yeah, you got to pay for this shit.
In the area's security camera. Now,
tell him, William, Tell them they got paid for this shit if they want it. This shit ain't free. How much is
Hell
YouTube
yeah, you
TV?
got to pay for this shit, boy.
Yeah, not only do I have YouTube Premium, I got YouTube TV. Now what?
I want you to take a very good close look at your screen. We're going to put it up full if we can. And the
look at this guy.
video you are seeing is the person of interest walking.
I think he shoved his own ding dong up his butt.
Along the street near the campus. Now pay very close attention. Notice the person of interest appears to be limping and dragging his right leg. Watch this closely. He's limping.
Oh, yeah.
He's dragging his right leg.
You know what's down that leg pant, right? Here, let's go back and look at it again.
Interest walking along the street near the campus. Now pay very close attention. Notice the person of interest appears to be limping and dragging his right leg. Watch this closely. He's limping. He's dragging his right leg. We can't confirm 100% what this is. However, let's start putting pieces of the puzzle together. Look at this. The Utah Department on Public Safety released 4 new pictures of the person of interest only moments ago. Notice the right leg in the picture. We'll blow that up and put it up for the full screen. And notice you can see something is protruding. If you can hone in a little closer.
Right yeah.
On the
all right, here's my you can see to the right of my screen. Look, it's right here. See that rifle? Yeah, there it is. There it is, Doc Bases.
Outside of that right leg area. If you could just look, especially down towards his ankle in that area. Now,
see that?
The 4 pictures they released, let's look at another picture, one of the newly released photos. If you look at this one, that's not the one. Well, actually, it is the one. I'm sorry. And see how it is dramatically bigger than it should be. Again,
that's what she said to me.
Right leg. So let's go to the rest of the TMZ video that was allegedly taken after the shooting. This a little bit quicker, so you have to pay a little more attention. But if this is the same person, that person would not be limping anymore, and it would appear to be after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Watch as he walks. That person's not limping. And you'll see, you know, again, you'll get another shot of this. It seems to be walking very briskly and running. If that's the same individual, again, we are awaiting a presser at any moment. Hopefully that will shed light on this new video. And here's what we have learned earlier today. This morning, the FBI office in Salt Lake City released these photos of the person of interest that they are seeking. The FBI also announcing this morning that they have retrieved what they believe to be the weapon that was used, a high-powered bolt-action rifle, which was recovered in a nearby wooded area. There is also new video circulating online, which appears to show an individual running along rooftops yesterday around the time of the assassination. Also tonight, our thoughts and our prayers remain with Charlie Kirk's family, who I am sure are still in a total state of shock. And the response around the world to this horrific tragedy has been incredible. We have seen prayer vigils, fundraisers for his family. And today, during a ceremony honoring the 9/11 victims at the Pentagon, President Trump announced that, in fact, Charlie Kirk will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That also will be coming up. And Vice President J.D. Vance, longtime close friend of Charlie Kirk's, flew out to Salt Lake City to be with Charlie's friends and family. The Vice President and Air Force Two escorting Charlie Kirk's casket from Utah back to Arizona. The video you are seeing on your screen right now, by the way, if we can put that up, was taken by a member of Turning Point USA. That video, as you can see, is showing the vice president of our country escorting Charlie Kirk's casket onto Air Force Two. Air Force Two has now landed in Phoenix, and you are looking at a video of Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica, I'm sure devastated. Usha Vance, the second lady, getting off Air Force Two. After being taken off the plane, Charlie Kirk's casket was brought to a chapel in Phoenix, which you can see on your screen now. We'll get to my opening monologue in just a moment. We have a lot to say tonight and a lot of new information. Also, we will talk to Don Jr. tonight. Here now first with reaction to the developing manhunt is Fox News contributor, former FBI special agent Nicole Parker, retired FBI special agent Maureen O'Connell, and she served as the Bureau's FBI evidence team. Also with us is the founder, the editor-in-chief and chief investigative reporter, justthenews.com, John Solomon.
Excuse me for a minute, everybody. I'm so sorry. But when you get stuff like this right here and he has no evidence of it, all right, because I'm on the leaks that where it came out of the Weens Means Committee where Donald Trump had that birthday card with the amount that he paid for the girl on there. Okay, that's why they want them to release it for him. Now, tell me that ain't damning right there, but nothing about Charlie Kirk, and you're a liar. You're a liar, dude. Shame on you. I bet you were one of those people that couldn't wait to get Jesus in his tomb too, back in the day.
John, before I get to the policing
You're one of the
aspect of it,
Pharisees.
you have been in touch with
Taxing
high-ranking
representation.
officials in the Department of Justice and
Looking
the
up
FBI.
to the heavens with your fists saying, if you come back, we'll crucify you again. Right? Am I wrong? Think I don't know you. I know you. Yeah, but see, again, Frackett, it was out of a response. 99.9% of the things that Donald Trump says is trolling the left because the left is trolling him, trying to make him out to be the racist when it's them being the racist all along. When I watched it live when he said there was good people on both sides. He was talking about the people that was there protesting those racist motherfuckers and the same people that was coming against people that were knocking down those the false narrative of Ferguson. See, if you paid attention, that's what he was saying. But he was they gaslit that and said he was talking about on the racist sides. And all the white men that were armed, which were the 225 white men that went in a circle carrying candles, saying something in Germany that was very racist, he was not talking about them. Please understand that what he said was in response, okay, because of that moron 30 seconds after they left, that they got everybody settled down. So maybe it was like 20 minutes to 30 minutes after the shooting, that MSNBC dude said that it was probably one of those right wingers playing with one of their long guns and accidentally shot him. So that's why Donald Trump said what he said right after that, because I was paying attention. For your information, see how the context just changed? You see what I'm saying, William? See how that changed?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You know, and then once people get educated, then they're like, oh, see, I went through that. Trust me.
Yeah, they're all going after the talking point. They're just
yeah.
repeating shit,
Exactly.
you know?
So you people that are doing that, I did that I think 30 years ago, 25 years ago. My wife and I have been married for 28 years. So 27 of those years I was a Democrat. No, 27 of those years I was a registered Democrat. No, not out of the years that we were married, but because we were married when I was 28. But I'm 54 now, so you can divide that and understand that we've been together for 28 years. My daughter's 25, for Christ's sake. On the toes of millions of you're gonna get dealt with. Yeah, and that's true. See, and that's a true statement too, RR. But you gotta put the context right. Use your context, and then your form, and then understand the narrative. They get us all one way or another. But 10 years from now, we're gonna find out everything we knew wasn't true. And these were all aliens.
What might we hear in this press conference that we expect at any moment?
I'm joking. But not about the truth. You know, it changes, man.
In a case, they're moving closer. They do not have a name, at least as of an hour ago, but they have a path of exit. They have a neighborhood where he came and left from. That's very important that he was familiar with that neighborhood, knew where to drop the gun. The video footage you showed, the police have been known about that for about 12 hours. The limp is believed to be the gun coming in, and the lack of a limp is when he dumps the gun in the woods as he's then running across that scene that you just showed. So that is the current operating theory about the gunman. There is a lot they're learning about him. They have a palm print. They've got a footprint. They've got multiple security footage images of him, but they have no digital matches on the face yet. They don't have any facial recognition. That's why they've released these images, hoping it jogs someone's memory as to who this man, assassin, killer may be.
How much attention is the FBI paying to reports of inscriptions on the gun and the ammunition?
Imagine
when you're in a situation like this, you consider all the possibilities. So, is the inscription a motive? Is there some liberal motive, or is it a cover story to throw the police off until the shooter can get away? I think they're open to both theories right now. They're not locking into theories. They're just following the evidence. So the inscription will become important at some point, but first, getting the man will help us understand the motive a lot better.
You know what I'm saying?
I have a source in the intelligence community, John, that said that there might be post-assassination pieces of a puzzle that might be put together, that there might be a foreign component to it. Yeah. Again, we don't know for sure. I know it's being discussed. Have you heard the same thing?
Yes, there is a group or two of interest that in the Salt Lake City area that they're looking at just because of certain recent activities overseas and certain intelligence shared by a foreign friendly from the United States doesn't necessarily mean that it is connected to the shooting. I suspect, though, it's going to result in some action, even if it's not tied to the shooting. But there is a small foreign component that's being looked at. Again, all leads are open. I don't think they've locked into a final theory of the case yet.
Okay, Nicole Parker, let's look at this from a law enforcement standpoint. Kyle. Your many years in the FBI, what do you make of the new video and the new pictures that were released? What do you make of the limp? What do you make of the lack of a limp later? What do you make of the pictures that actually show a bulge, again, on that same leg?
This lady right here was a she ran a task force back in the day. You can look her up. And these other people were DOJ and combatants.
That was being dragged in the limping picture.
I agree with you, Sean. I think that's a very smart analysis, and let's see what this actually comes out to be. But I do think that it's very odd. He's limping before pre-incident, and then post-offense, all of a sudden, the individual is running. I agree with you, but let's wait and see.
I mean, him and his band could have been raw dogging it. I mean, I don't know
what happens. But I think what's so important, and we've been saying it over and over on Fox News, is that this case will be solved because of the help of the community. And it was someone that turned in the surveillance video from their front yard and others from their backyard that is going to solve this investigation, along with many other facets that they're working. But I can tell you, I've spoken to people in the FBI. They are all hands on deck. They are bringing in people from all around the country. They are bringing in people that are experts at reviewing surveillance video, people that are experts in cyber, people that are experts in evidence response, our evidence response teams, as well as our victim assistance.
I'm sorry to hear
this
that.
is an all hands on deck.
R.
No one is
I'm gonna
going
call
to
you
rest
double R.
an ounce until this person is taken into custody. And I do think it is amazing
I
that
think they
Cash
got
Patel
him in
is
custody.
stepping up with Dan Bongino. They
I
are
think they're
they are
keeping
out
it
there.
hush
They are
hush.
going to have a press conference
they-
that shows the American people they are on top of this. And it
You
shows
want me to be honest with you? They're probably torturing them. I don't know, dude. I'm joking.
support for law enforcement, because there is one important thing to note. It is exhausting. These people are working around the clock. And so, of course, we need to pray. We need to pray.
This is going to be the up-to-date facts on who they got and the name. This conference that's coming, awaiting update on Manhunt for Charlie Kirk's killer. All right. So there's the mic, and that's what we're waiting
Pray for Charlie Kirk's family
I
and
need
for
to
his wife
speed
and
this
his
up a
children.
little
But let's also pray for law enforcement. They need the help, and we need this person to be taken into custody and to be taken into custody quickly. The firearm being retrieved, that is huge. The footprint, all of these things are things that are going to be looked at the lab at Quantico, and every single piece of evidence matters. So again, I admonish anyone watching this program, if you have anything, a Ring doorbell camera, anything that you think may be insignificant to an investigator, that will not be insignificant. They take all the pieces of the puzzle and let them do the work.
Yeah. Well, first question, Nicole, I asked you last night was, if they had security cameras at that college, and clearly images now emerging are very, very helpful. Pictures are very, very helpful. Maureen O'Connell, retired FBI agent, 25 years, who served on the FBI's evidence response team. When you look at this new videotape, when you look at these new pictures, what do you see? Is that a big piece of the puzzle maybe we're looking at?
It's a huge piece of the puzzle. And it's that weapon system is covered in DNA, which is exactly one of the things we want. There is no way that he's walking down a street for a long period of time, for a long distance, with pants on and not sweating all over that weapon. So that's a good thing. The evidence response team is going to be scouring the woods around there, along with their local partners and all the other law enforcement involved. They're going to be working very hard to look for everything. And look at how much they found already. This case is very, very close to being solved. I'll be very surprised if we don't have a name at the very latest by tomorrow morning. We're closing in on this guy, and we're closing in on it because of the close work that's being done with all of our law enforcement partners and everyone working together.
See, that's the whole point. Every time we create another law against guns, all it does is restrict law-abiding people. It doesn't restrict the guys that don't give a shit. A criminal knows that it's wrong. He knows once he gets caught, he's toast, right? So again, we're cutting off our toe to spite our foot.
Evidence on the rooftop, even though it appeared to me from the drone footage that the shoe impressions are just in gravel. So it's not really to the level where you're going to be able to necessarily identify a lot of things. But what they will be able to determine is the size of the shoe or the boot that was worn, and also whether or not the shoes that we find.
It's not that I don't support people that want to be what they want to be. Just quit trying to put it like that as a fact, and I have to accept it whether I like it or not. Okay? I am what I am, and what I'm not, I'll never be. And that's how I feel about them. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, you're free to do whatever you want. Just quit trying to change life so you'll feel better about yourself. It is what it is, man. I don't know what else I could say. I'm not going to brainwash myself like that. That's called being
person or shoes we may
marginalized.
find in the woods are consistent with the size of the imprint or the impression found on that roof.
We
And there'll
all
be DNA
agree,
in the
John.
shoes also. Sorry.
I think that's going to be very, very critical. I agree totally. One of the things we all have to be concerned about at this hour is, is this person anywhere still in the area? Did he get out of the area? Is this now going to be a nationwide manhunt? That could be very, very challenging, troubling, difficult. Do we all agree, all points, all evidence now pointing towards a premeditated assassination? John, let's get your take.
Oh, no doubt. This was premeditated. There's a lot of thought, even on the escape route, the entry route, the shooting. Yes, it's no doubt. And the police have said that they believe it's a premeditated assassination. And I think our two experts are 100% right. I think we're 24 hours away from having the break in the case, and we're getting the bad guy here.
Yeah, Nicole, your take on it.
He
Premeditated.
just said that he thinks that they're 24 hours away from having the whole kibit and caboodle, right? So whatever that means, I think they're gonna have the whole case solved and ready for the grand jury.
Assassination?
Within an hour.
Absolutely premeditated. And I think that
Or a day. What do you say? A day? Let me go back.
Yes, it's no doubt. And the police have said that they believe it's a premeditated assassination. And I think our two experts are 100% right. I think we're 24 hours away from having the break in the case, and we're getting the bad guy.
But he doesn't know. So let's fast forward this a little bit. See, I don't want to miss too much because there's stuff that I might want to hear that I haven't heard.
I hear.
Yeah, Nicole, your take on it. Premeditated assassination?
Absolutely premeditated. And I think that if you're looking at it from a behavioral analysis perspective, the fact that this person shot him in the throat, I think it could possibly go back to motive and being symbolic of trying to take away Charlie Kirk's voice and to shut him up. And that is not okay in America.
Yeah, and Maureen, you agree with that assessment as well?
Absolutely. When you consider the acquisition of the weapon, the writing on the magazines and the rounds, and the, you don't know where Charlie was going to set up that tent. You had an idea. Maybe there's a location in that quad where others have done so, but you have to have experience. You have to know that location. You have to know how to get up on that roof. You have to know your egress routes. I mean, look at all the thought he put into getting that weapon in there, because there are a lot of weapons you could break down and put into a backpack, and he chose not to use that route because the weapon that he probably chose is one that can't be traced.
That's interesting.
So there was a lot of planning going on, and there was a lot of brewing of hatred going on in his head before this event took place.
What time you were born that day?
Let me go back to you, Nicole, for just a second. From an FBI standpoint, is we have to assume, based on all the planning that seems to have been in place prior to and after this incident, I've got to imagine that there's been an escape plan associated with this. Would you agree with that? What does it mean if they identify, if it's no longer a person of interest, but if they believe this is the person, the suspect, and finding that person, then not having any idea where that person might be or what vehicle they might be in, how likely is it they'll be able to crack the code and find out where that person might be?
It's going to be complex. I agree. It's going to be extremely complex. But again, there was an extensive amount of.
Hey, William.
Oh, what's up?
Look at the screen.
All right.
Did you read that?
Uh-huh.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know how Israel, they have to sign up and they have to be taught, by a certain age.
Yeah, and there's another country that does that, where when you turn 18, you automatically have to go into the military, and you're here for your homeland, basically. So everybody has guns. They've all went through the military, and that's the reason, is because now you're here to protect us.
Yeah.
And I believe in that. I think every American should go to courses, learn how to do it, because education is key at this. Because if you know how they work, you know how to use it, it's never going to harm nobody. So, yeah, I believe in that. Everybody should have it.
Yeah. That would take care of like 80% of our crime too.
Yeah, I think it would too.
Yeah. It would.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment.
It's just a fact, man.
Yep. Word for word on the Second Amendment.
That it is that they do what they do, and look, we could sit and talk until we're blue in the face on why people shouldn't have it. And I agree, some people should not have them.
I agree. But how do you determine that? That's the issue on guns. Is how do you determine who can have it and who can't?
I can't throw away the baby out with the bathwater. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take away people's rights just because this moron's a moron, you know?
Yeah.
And you got one out of every what 20 people that shouldn't have it. I don't even know what the number is. What do you think the number is? What do you guys think the number is in
That's a
America?
hard thing. Yeah. It's
It
hard
is,
to come up with.
and you gotta go. You gotta do it by geographical, uh, ethnic, people. Um, you got to do it. You know, like in Chi-Town, you know, an average of 54 people get shot every weekend. You know, and half of them die. You know, so I mean,
And
it's
half of them guns were bought, behind the market, black market,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Anybody in this country right now can find what they're looking for
Anything.
on the black market.
Yep. And all you got to
So
do is
there's no background checks. There's none of that, so.
I mean, you might get
Planning
robbed.
that went into this, how he even got up on the roof, what was his access, and again, looking at the
Yeah.
facial recognition, looking at everything. But again, going back to what I cannot understate this. Somebody knows this individual. Somebody knows him. Somebody in this country who is watching Fox News or another news network.
I didn't see that. I'm glad you even told me that. Did you see that? Dude died in 7 seconds. He didn't even stand a chance.
Nope. Didn't even know.
I said my prayer for him yesterday, and I meant it. And I asked the Lord to release a power beyond all understanding. When you lose somebody that you love, and especially over some political garbage, it's just not worth it,
Yeah, I said 3 prayers yesterday for him, his wife, and his beautiful children.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
That's where it hits you, is where
Yeah,
you see he's got little babies.
it hurts. Let me
And I
see.
hope they put him up on a pedestal so when his
Oh, here we
daughters get
go.
older,
Here we go.
they're going to realize that their father was an icon in this country. And I don't care what anybody says, that he should be put up because all he was doing was just having an opinion.
Yeah. I'm waiting.
Opinion ain't a
All right,
bad thing, man.
All right, we got
Opinion is
somebody
not a
coming
bad
to the
thing.
podium. We got somebody coming to the podium. Let's see what's happening here.
Right in the area of where I'm speaking, I think, who probably has a
Or is he one of them sound check dudes?
very important lead for the FBI, and I just hope they come forward and hope maybe they already have.
Have you spoken to a lot of people on the ground since you've been there, Paul?
God, they're probably not going to have nobody at the podium until it comes to Greg. And Greg's such a narcissist, we won't be able to see anything.
I have. And, Sean, that's a really interesting point. I got to say, when I was in college, I couldn't hold a candle to these kids. They're standing around praying. They're tying ribbons around trees. They're coming up to me, apologizing to me, and they're upset about what happened here. Why are they apologizing to me? Because they feel wounded. And as you and I talked about last night, to this generation and younger even, this was like a JFK moment. They loved this man. And they are all feeling this really, really deeply. And you can see it. There are people driving around with things on their cars. This community is rocked by this. You saw the turnout. So the fact
that this guy isn't out, why are you still running your mouth that this guy's sitting here talking? But that looks like, does that mean red, you guys? Does that mean it's a hot mic? Green is, yeah, it's like, I don't know. That's a hot mic, ain't it, William? Does that mean it's a hot mic when it's red?
I think so. It's live when it's red, ain't it?
Yeah. So he's been there for like, this guy is running his DS, and this guy's been talking for over 2 minutes. I don't know. Hold up. Maybe he is a sound check guy. All right. Yeah, he was. Let's see.
Hear from Kash Patel and Dan Bongino and other law enforcement tonight.
It's one of two things. They're either going to say, we believe that we have the name of somebody, a person of interest, a potential suspect, or they're going to say, we need the help of the public and we're investigating things exhaustively, everything that we've got. Like you said, they're pouring in evidence. Tips are coming in. They're going to go through every single thing. No stone will be left unturned. I really hope it's the first, because it is time for us to put this person where they belong. But let's wait and see. This investigation, though, this is going to be going to trial, I'm sure.
You know, I mean, if you just sentenced him to like Hillary Clinton's closet. Oh my God.
Yeah, Bill and Hillary will take care of him.
Yeah, now that's what I call a balanced termination.
This person is alive at this point, and if they are safely taken into custody when they are located, again, we don't know when that will be, but it's a very different incident than, you know, a lot of these school shootings where they shoot themselves, they've committed suicide in the act. That is why it is so important that
Talk about Vegas as far as the dude in the 1A Vegas, or what are you talking about?
we do not stop as a prosecutorial team. They are continuing to say, no matter
Ruby
what,
said
even if we
stop. We gotta stop, William.
Why is that? Oh,
Ruby, what do I gotta stop, honey?
yeah, let us know.
Yeah, we need to know. I can't read your mind. Unfortunately, I can't. I don't perform miracles and rise the dead and walk on water. I can't. You know, you gotta explain yourself.
located the individual, the investigation is just beginning, Sean. These are in the early stages of this. They've got to back their way in, and they've got to build a very, very solid case. Like I said, if he goes into custody safely,
maybe.
this will likely go to trial. And so they've got to have everything locked tight and ready to go when that occurs.
You know, Maureen, all indications are that this person of interest seems to be very high at the top of their list for all the reasons we've discussed here. However,
She's lying about
Nicole
what? See, if you're going to say she's lying and you're saying stop, it looks like you're getting triggered. Tell her what that looks like, okay? Now, look, I'll save you, okay? Let me save you. Just be more specific in what you're saying and make sense, because you have a right to an opinion, Ruby Red. You hear me? Just say what's on your mind and keep it short. I don't want to read a book.
On this earlier, we may now be looking at a nationwide manhunt. If you look at somebody in a baseball cap, somebody with a shirt on, the ability of people to alter their
in DC. What's she mean by that? What are you talking about? Anybody want to decipher this for me? It was repugs at the DC Capitol. What in the Sam heaven are you talking about?
appearance, their look, dye their hair.
Are you talking about January 6th? Oh my God. Are you one of them? You do know the only thing that happened. No, I'm not going to say that until I know for a fact.
Etc., could make that even more challenging.
You said
the
you.
FBI, I am sure.
Oh my God, she is triggered, dude. Look at her. You.
Something she got lit.
What in the Sam? Look, are you constipated? Go take a shit, damn it. Leave me alone.
Sure has technology, especially in the era of artificial intelligence, where they have facial recognition techniques, etc. Certainly, they'll be checking every car in and out of.
Well, he paid it, didn't he? G Money, huh? Did he not pay it? J Money, come on now.
The area.
That Sam Kennison said.
In the time period that we're talking about, By the way, it looks like the mic checks have finished and they're about to start the press conference. But
I wish they
Maureen,
would, 'cause
your take
people are getting on my nerves. I want to stop this.
on that, the nationwide manhunt.
Yes, it could
I can only handle a couple of thousand people. Dude, I've dealt with probably over 100,000 people. You do know that, right? I guarantee it's going to be over. The views that I have on this is going to be over 100,000. Anybody want to take a bet on that? You know that, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, guarantee it.
Yeah, you only can
manhunt,
take
but
so
keep in
much of
mind,
this stuff, though.
Honestly, Jesus, and I'm reading every one of these links.
He had a cell phone
trying.
when if he bought a burner phone, he
I'm about a half mile behind, you know.
probably had his regular cell phone, his iPhone with him, and it looked like he had an iPhone in his pocket at that particular time. They may have ID'd that telephone.
Or he might have been happy to see it, that one dude that was standing in front of him.
And they've been following that telephone. So, or he may have had his personal telephone on his person when he bought the burner phone, and they'll be able to tie those two together just from the video surveillance. There's a number of different
that's
things
a good
happening
point,
at once.
Freckett. A lot of people wasn't even born during 9/11. So they can't appreciate the cornerstone of the lessons that it brought to us. Yes.
As all the other people have alluded to, especially Jim Galliano. I was actually getting exhausted listening to him, having done investigations like this before. But I think the thing that we're going to hear today in this presser is they're going to let us know.
I'm gonna tell you something though. There is one good thing that came out of that. I got to meet some really good Muslim people. I want people to see my face when I say this. I got to see some really good, decent, peaceful Muslim people, and I'm glad I met them. I'm not glad 9/11 happened, but I'm glad that it helped people come together, and those that had common sense like me and the people that were talking had our debates. And when we had our debates, we would be like very respectful to each other, and we set a mandatory guideline of, no matter how aggravating it gets, always ask meaning and translation. Always get clarification. Double down on it instead of getting angry. Because that's the problem. People sometimes are misunderstanding each other through interpretation. Because a lot of words in Arab and English can't be substituted. Just to let you know. Same thing as Hebrew. All right, we're going back to this right here. Hopefully we got a mic on and I can shut up. Let's see. All right, can we get somebody? Anybody? Somebody? Anybody?
I bet you they'll wait until tomorrow to tell. And show
Here we go. Here we go.
Coming up.
Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Kash Patel.
All right.
Yeah, the leader of the FBI is coming up, guys. Here we go. Come on in. Everybody get in. Come on, let's go. We're going to find out who this sap is.
Assets. And here we are now, hopefully coming to a conclusion very quickly.
All right, Richard, we're going to go to that press conference. We've been awaiting FBI, local law enforcement. There's Kash Patel. I can't see who else is in the picture, but I'm sure that they will introduce themselves. We've been waiting for this for a long time. A lot of breaking developments tonight in terms of a recovered
Homeland
weapon.
Security,
We have this new TMZ
DEA,
video that we've been airing for
DID, Department of Defense, Department of, and let's see, you got like 20 law enforcement agencies there.
We know that they have palm prints. We
federal.
know that they have fingerprints.
Shut up, dude, so we can hear her.
We know that they have footprints. Let's listen in.
This evening, we have FBI Director Patel, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as, I'm so sorry, Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor, we'll kick it off. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight. We appreciate the media and the partnership we have with you in helping us to get information out to the public so that we can catch this assassin and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now. Show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video and I'll narrate as we walk through that.
Right over here.
So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper.
He's right here.
Upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a
You heard it here first on Wolby.
shoe imprint where we believe the
You guys like, share, and subscribe.
suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive T-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs. I mentioned these have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the T-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo and again, the T-shirt. Blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well.
Let me go back a little bit.
We have pushed these out. We've been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the T-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo and again, the T-shirt. Blue jeans. And
y'all, if you haven't taken a moment to smash that like button, I'd appreciate if you would do that right now. It's free, and you don't have to pay for YouTube TV. You see it free right here on my channel. Thank you.
Get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well, all working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. We will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI...
I promise you that I will keep you up on it. Make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe. Thank you.
Hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal, state, and local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We are going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public should be submitted to our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. And we'll just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation. We are tracking our team, the state team, and I'm sure the federal team as well. What we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and to spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Listen to that again.
China. We have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage.
You never know. It might have been one of them, so we would blame each other and go to war while they attack our country. Come on, man. Wolvie's not obedient to that. Come on. You never know.
Encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and to spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits.
Who mad? Who mad? William, who's he talking about? Who mad, dog?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's mad, dog face? J Money, tell me who mad.
Ready so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him accountable, and we need your help to do that. Thank you.
That is the press conference we have been waiting for. We continue our coverage as the manhunt for Charlie Kirk's assassin continues. Authorities just gave an update, sharing new video of the alleged shooter on the rooftop before jumping off and running away. Let me go over some of what we learned in this press conference.
It's going over to Dum Dum here. Let's see.
Anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I is feeling anything, we are going to them.
But this is from Governor Spence sharing this new video. Show the shooter in a prone position. In other words, a shooting position. No video. They point out he's wearing a black T-shirt. They point out it has a flag service agent. That's just simple.
Anything, we are going to catch this. Anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is
they did say that they use this video as a means of following the path that this person of interest, they haven't said suspect yet, they didn't use that word, person of interest, following this path, and that led them to the recovery of the weapon, which obviously is critical. So if we're to rehash what we learned in this press conference tonight, first hearing from Governor Spence, sharing this new...
Bro, I really shouldn't have to explain myself to you. You know, this is my channel. I stopped this and I do it because, you see, I'm monetized, all right? You understand me? And if this is a live video that's happening right now, I got to wait at least 15 or 20 minutes until it's over so I can bring that to you, okay? Don't do that to me, man. Don't sit there and talk Batman shit. Don't sit there and tell a guy that's had a channel for 10, 15 years and been a content creator for 6 years. And the things that I do, don't tell me what to do. I don't tell you what to do. Don't tell me what to do. Go on with your game.
Video. We had the new still photos. They were a little bit more enhanced than what we have.
See, people don't give a shit that if I got a copyright, you know, they wouldn't care that it would cost me money. They don't give a shit, you know. That's why I say, you know, some of these people are just full of it, you know. You just watch the movie. Sap.
Oh, that is the person of interest. You can see he's carrying something. It looks like his backpack, jumping off. They spent a lot of time talking about what this...
I'll tell you what, you apologize to me, and I'll let that go.
person of interest was wearing. This is where they got the shoe imprint and the palm print right there when he was jumping off that roof. Again, you watch, you'll see this is where they got a palm print. And when he lands, this is where they got a footprint. That could be crucial, critical evidence. Then you see this individual begins to run and then slowly walk and then try to acclimate to the crowd, which was on the other side of the building. What we learned tonight is in this new video, they showed in the beginning of the video, if we can get to that part of it, they show the shooter in a prone position. In other words, a shooting position. They point out he's wearing a black T-shirt. They point out it has a flag and an eagle on that T-shirt, that he's wearing a baseball cap and it has a triangle on that. They identified the tennis shoes that he was wearing. And again, they have the foot imprint. They were Converse tennis shoes. He drops down, he crosses the street, and they use this video, again, very, very incredibly sophisticated, very smart policing, to find that weapon. They are asking all of the public for help. They're asking people that might have videotapes or anybody that has seen anything. You can upload it. You can call the FBI's number, 1-800-CALL-FBI. They're asking for more tips. They are urging the public to understand there is a lot of disinformation, as I know most of you know, on social media. They did say in this press conference they will pursue the death penalty. That also came out in this press conference. Okay, a lot to get to. We bring another hour of special coverage with these new developments. We also will hear from Donald Trump Jr. tonight. He was very close with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, admired everybody in the Trump family. So we'll hear from Don Jr. coming up in the course of this hour. But we do bring back former FBI Special Agent Nicole Parker, retired FBI Special Agent Maureen O'Connell, JustTheNews.com founder, editor-in-chief, chief investigative reporter John Simon.
Sometimes I have to pause it to make sure that it didn't go over to the next hour. And if I'm that close, they can literally strike my shit and you guys will all go away and I won't be able to do anything for 2 weeks. And I'll lose money, all because you want me to play the video? Why don't you have a little more respect than that, Ellis? Only thing I'm doing is checking, man. I'm here for you. I'm doing you a favor, man. This is costing me more money than I'm getting.
Solomon. John, let's start on the news side. Anything I'm missing in my summary of what we got here?
No, listen, I've covered 1,000 of these, and there's two things. The biggest news is that the state of Utah has decided to seek the death penalty. It's no longer in doubt. They're preparing the paperwork for a suspect whose name they don't know. It is clear they do not know the name of the suspect, that they don't have a cell phone track, they don't have fingerprints, DNA, or digital footprint. And that's why they're putting so much personally identifying information out to try to help get the public to find something that's there. I was struck by the logo on the hat. I've been seeing some interesting chatter on that today, and I think that's something like that. When you're in this position, the FBI, you've got incredible visual footage, but no name. It's something as simple as a playlist that someone had on a song list, a social media post, a little piece of clothing, a worn part of the bag that he carried on his back, the way he walked through the neighborhood and knew the neighborhood. That will be a key that will break this case open, and that's why it provided so much detail. But the FBI director didn't speak tonight. That tells you that they don't yet have an identity that they're pursuing, and that's why they're asking the public's help.
Nicole, you had referred to that earlier and how important and critical that's going to be in helping the FBI find this person of interest. I've got to imagine, even though they're not saying it, that this goes beyond a person of interest. This has got to be their chief suspect.
Absolutely, but they've got to be able to identify who that individual is, and it's going to be challenging. And the fact that they're coming out in this press conference and saying, we have not identified the name of this person that you see jumping off of the roof. We need your help. We need your tips. And again, Sean, a $100,000 reward leading to this person's identity and arrest. That is huge. The FBI doesn't usually start at 100,000. They usually start at 10,000 and then go up to 25 and then up to 50. Right off the bat, $100,000. Again, anyone within the sound of my voice, have the integrity. If you know this individual, even if it's someone close to you, a loved one, a friend, a coworker, somebody knows who this person is. And just like Governor Cox said, that is how they are going to solve this investigation. You know, DNA is very powerful, and it's something that we love in the FBI. But again, if they're still going, you know, undergoing examination, but unless there's a known reference for the DNA, they don't have anything to match. They have to have a known sample, which is usually found in CODIS, and that's usually because someone's been arrested. Let's say that this person has never been arrested before. They have no criminal history, so they're not going to be in that database. And then also something that's very common that they use in law enforcement now is genealogical DNA, which we hear about, which is used to solve cases as well. So again,
agreed. But nobody should be dying over quotes, right? Right? You know, people need to wake up and smell the crap they're dishing. Because it takes a guy like me that's not biased either way. Okay, because I'm not right or left. All right, I can't stand them equally. All right, I will ostracize the crap out of them every chance I get. And when you got a guy like me sitting here disseminating the facts as it's organically playing out, and pointing out the clarifications where there is no justification for the situation. And then you got people in here that are deceiving, manipulating. And, you know, I got about 10 trolls to every 25 people. So I think I've handled it quite well. And the virtual signaling, you'll never hear me do it. I think we're all tyrants. I think the only difference is that they got a code of conduct and they got a bargaining agreement that we can hold them to. Now what?
And if there's no known reference for DNA, they haven't been arrested, they're not in CODIS, and there's no genealogical DNA, it will be very difficult to use the DNA to identify who the person is up front. And so we're going back to old-fashioned policing again. If you see something, say something. If you think you may know this individual, call the FBI, 800-CALL-FBI, and again, www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting. Anything and everything they need, all hands on deck from the entire country right now. Frankly, the entire world, anywhere in the world. If you know this person, you report it.
Yeah, let me go to you,
See,
Maureen.
this is what happens when you open up your country and you allow other people to come in, and then they gaslight you as you allow them to be what they want to be, and you allow them to excel, and then all they do is race bait you, gaslight you, you know, and it's just so damn disrespectful. And y'all gonna learn a lesson. Trust me, it's coming. And I don't like it, but I think it's necessary.
And if I can, and I do have a source out in the area.
I'm a very, very caring, considerate person when it comes to life. Life is important. Everybody, even when I'm angry at people that I don't like. I don't know you. What the hell should I be mad at you for?
A law enforcement source that is saying they have a name. They have a name that was used. They don't know if it is an alias or not, which is why they didn't mention a name. I do not personally have it myself, but this is what a very reliable source has told me. You just heard from law enforcement. You heard from the governor. We have this new videotape. We have more details about what the individual of interest was wearing: the Flag Eagle T-shirt, the triangle hat, the Converse tennis shoes. We got the shoe imprint. We got the palm print, and we have the new video prone position, shooting position, which we had known about. Then we go back to what we talked about in the last hour. We now have the recovery of the weapon. Now we know how they found that weapon. They followed the video that they released tonight. That video led them to the weapon. That means we have ballistics.
And you know what? Thanks for saying that. You know, have no hate. There's no hate here. There's no disrespect here. I have one voice. I have a tracheometry. You know, I was in a coma for 3.5 months. You know, when I got electrocuted. So excuse me if my voice sounds like shit. I make love in this voice. My poor wife. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
We have new video of new pictures that show there will be likely fingerprints that they will able to grab from the railings that he held many times. Add to that some other things that they didn't talk about, inscriptions that have been widely.
You want to take this one, William? It's your turn.
Hey,
come on.
What do you want me to take?
Look, read the screen. Ask the question.
Wow. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that one.
Just ask the question. Do what Charlie would do. Just ask when they would come out with false information. You to bring them to sense. Let's have respect for the dead. Okay. What would Charlie do? He would just simply ask specific questions that would lead to the answer of their question, and they would watch their logic would just melt right in front of them, and then they would just sit there like a deer in headlights. Go back and watch about 200.
Yeah, he was good at that.
Okay?
Yeah, that's what I liked watching about him.
I could do this with this lady. I could do this, but I want you to do it. I've been doing it all night. Your turn. You do it.
No, your turn. You're good at it. I'm learning. I'm learning from you, man. I learn from you every day, buddy.
Listen. Okay. Tell me what made him a psychopath. Short for psycho. Answer that direct question. Don't write a book. If you do, I'm just gonna block you, because that means you're disrespecting me. I'm respecting you. I'm giving you a chance to explain what you mean by a psychopath. And then I'm going to ask you another question after that. I'm going to skip all you guys because I want to see her answer this.
And she'll probably disappear, or whoever it is.
They usually do.
Yep.
Because it's just a talking point, you know.
Yeah, they're just pulling shit out of the weeds. You must have to really think about it.
Okay. So she's saying if anybody knew what they were doing and saying, it was Charlie. Nobody is saying that he deserved it, but somebody out there thinks that he did. I don't care. Maybe the shooter was misquoted like Charlie. So you're changing. That was a 180, wasn't it? Wasn't that a 180 right there?
Yeah, it kind of sounded like it.
Let's put that up there. That's what I thought. All right.
Yeah, I didn't see that come through.
All right. So, and then we'll put that back here. So Charlie was a psychopath. That's why you love him. Okay? And then you say this. If anybody knew what they were doing and saying it was Charlie, nobody's saying that he deserved it, but somebody out there thinks he did. I don't care maybe if the shooter was misquoted like Charlie. So let me ask you a question. You know Omar, right? You remember what Omar's? I know you know Omar because I know your talking point here. You got to remember, I was a Democrat for 27 years, man. So you ain't fooling nobody. None of you will fool me, and you will respect me. At the end of the day, when the sun goes down, you will shake my hand and say, I love Wolfie. Because most people do. You either love me or hate me. There's no in between. The question is, like Omar did, all right? Omar, the point that I was making, you know, I don't want to be cruel. My intention is not to be cruel. But do you remember what Omar said about 9/11? Some people had to do something on 9/11. So she was saying somebody had to do it. Why not those people that were my people?
Why not them?
Okay. That's the, and I believe that's what you're trying to tell me. Maybe the shooter was misquoted like Charlie. Let me tell you something. He didn't hate transgenders. And I'm going to tell you this right now. A man that claims to be a woman with a Johnson bigger than mine, shame on you for allowing him to even let you talk him in to letting in your bathroom because he's identifying as a man, as a woman. Shame on you for allowing him to get into women's sports and get into boxing and beat the living shit out of that woman and put her in a coma for 2 days where she could never fight again. Shame on you for enabling a woman to get into weightlifting, running, cross, soccer, all of it. Shame on you. That is not fair. Women work way too hard to take an empathetic man that identifies as a woman because he wasn't successful at a man in sports. So he comes and steals all your gold and silver. That was Charlie. Honey, America first.
Reported. I'm hesitant to bring it up at this point until we get more confirmation. Where does that take us from where we were
So
1
how
hour
they found
ago?
the rifle was they followed the trail that he left, and they found it within like 20 minutes of following the trail. Next.
Well, first, my observations, if it's okay, Sean, about this new video that just came out. Number one, I've never heard or known of a sniper that wears Converse shoes. So I'm going to just put some money on the fact that he's not a pro at this point. Number two, he's got to be young because he jumped, 20 feet or more, and then was able to run. So we know they're right about the age, and you can tell that pretty much from his physique. The third observation that I had that I forgot to mention earlier is when he was walking with that limp, he had his right hand in his right pocket, and he had to hold the butt of the weapon up there. Even if he wore a belt under his pants to hold that weapon in place, you know, having worn a gun on my hip my entire adult life, like a lot of the other people on the panel tonight, we all know there's a lot of movement
just
there.
went
And with a heavy
125
long
down.
gun, that thing is.
And she's missing. All right. So, did you read the private chat, bro?
Oh no, nope, I
Read
didn't see it.
Read it.
Going to be
Oh,
moving
yeah, I
like crazy,
figured.
which is why you'll notice that whenever he has.
And that is the walk of shame.
Yep.
That is what Charlie did. Out of respect for Charlie, that's what I did. You don't need to disrespect people. Just shame.
Yeah.
Shame that. Shame
I
it.
learned
Ostracize it. Okay?
Yep.
And wear a bulletproof vest and don't go out like Charlie. He had the president's ear. He had communication skills. He should have put him on as some type of an advisor so he would have Secret Service. That man needed Secret Service, man, because he would have been a future president, and that's exactly what they were afraid of. They don't want to see him in 2028.
Yep. Exactly.
He's too smart.
Words scare a lot of people, man. And it seems like the Democratic Party really gets scared when the words are true and their words are fake.
I don't know. I know you ain't talking to me. You must be talking to somebody else in there. Anyway, I think it's worth it at the cost. Unfortunately, the same gun deaths vary singly every year and can have the Second Amendment. Charlie Kirk is this problem with Americans, unfortunately. Yeah. Well, you should go to bed and make 0 sense. Who gives a shit, Carl? Does that mean your butt hurt too? All this is some of these people from our community coming in when their sock accounts. You know, those jealous people that don't want to
Yeah,
see
because
us.
Carl's been a goofball all night in the chat. Carl has.
Yeah, that's just there's a bias to some of these people, and they get so mad when I ignore them.
Like little children.
But do you see how
their little tantrum in the chat?
Do you see how I dealt with all those thousands of people? You know. All right. You know what? That's it for tonight. I've spoiled you guys through YouTube TV. You know, and I think I've given you guys enough. You know, I think, you know, I appreciate everybody here. And like I said, there was maybe 1 or 10 trolls, and that's okay. I love trolls. Trolls are good. Trolls are good for me. But
Hey, Mountain Girl.
you just gotta know something, man. You can't just come to Wolby and play that, you know, that dope move game. You know what I mean? Just because I'll stick up for your right to say it doesn't mean I won't put my intellectual foot in your ass. And you will walk away with a limp like Dude was.
Hell yeah.
Figuratively. I'm just saying. All right, let me get down to the bottom, man. I'm sorry, man. I can't read all these. There's thousands. It just keeps going on and on.
Yeah, it's just going. But I appreciate you having me up here, Wolby. It means a lot to me.
I'm gonna go down to the bottom here, bro, because there's some. Let me get down to the bottom so I can read. Damn! Wow, dude, if you've seen this, you'd be like, "Holy shit!" I told you, I there's over 200,000. I'll bet you there's about 170,000 here, easy. I'm serious. 170,000.
Oh, there's a lot of people that went through here on this.
Yeah, I guarantee it. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. If you haven't subscribed to this awesome channel, please subscribe to it. And I love all of you. And just remember this: we can always agree to disagree, and let's treat each other right. Dex says, "I agree. Can't please just respect Dr. Kirk's memory." There you go. There you go. He's a human being. He's got a family, man. Come on, everybody's got a hustle, right? Yeah, ugly says, "I am Charlie." Okay, Charlie. You talk about Charlie from overseas? You better go back. Guys in Vietnam find out you're up in here to fuck around, kill us all. Hey, I try to have a sense of humor. I know sometimes I'm dull. I'm sorry, I got a pain level of like, I'm missing limbs, man. 13.2 thousand volts went through me and killed me a few times. So, shit happens, right, guys? Jeez, I'm still going through it. Yeah. I am zooming at about, I just now got to the bottom. Hi, Bob. Hi, Julius. 160 max. Hello, everybody that I haven't been able to get to. All right, guys. You guys have a great night, and know your self-worth and treat each other right. And remember this: if you're going, listen to me close. Listen to me when I say this. If you're going to take somebody's opinion and you're going to use that opinion to put your how would I put it? Where the heck? Oh, I'm doing 7 things at once here. If you're going to use that opinion to put somebody in check, just remember this: the check doesn't have to be a transparent check. It could be a rebuke without an embarrassment. Some things are just better left unsaid. Sometimes you could just like find out who the email and email them. So, you remember that conversation we were having? Come on, man, you were wrong or 2 left feet, and just give them the stats. Go to the library and look at the hardbacks and get off of Google. Jesus Christ. That's probably what everybody's problem is. I'm starting to lose my voice again, damn it. And it's William's fault. Why you keep me on here this long? God, 260,000.
Well, I got to learn. I mean, this is my learning experience.
That was a lot right there, bro. 260,000.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a lot. That's what this says right here in my studio right now. 260,000. That is a lot of freaking people. Man, yeah. I hope I monetized it. Oh my God, I probably didn't monetize it. I've done that so many times. Host myself, Where in the Sam Hill is this? Hold up. Let me do something real quick. Yeah. And we don't always have to agree with everything, but we're not going to be here forever. Life is too short. Don't be angry at people, and learn how to get along with people that you normally don't get along with, and try to see their point of view from a non-aggressive point of view.
And people go back and watch some of his videos. But when you go in and you watch him, be neutral, man. Listen to both sides of it. No matter if you like the guy or not, man, just listen. Listen to everybody.
I think if you would understand the context of what people are saying, I think people would have a different perspective. Now, if you're biased and you're going to root for your team no matter what, and
then don't go.
A win is a win. Don't waste your time and don't come back. Just don't come back. I'm gonna get other people are going to come and see me. I'm gonna get the views anyway. All right. So, but if you want to listen to all types of different opinions that I've seen tonight, you didn't see me dogging nobody. You know, people were asking me some very disrespectful, derogatory questions when it could have been just a question in itself that would have led to its own definition. All right. All right, guys. You guys have a great night and let this play out. Back quiet reading the mail for show.
No, you ain't. No, you ain't.
All right. I'll call you tomorrow, Wolvie.
That's it.
No.
God bless, buddy.
Get rid of some of the bias that you have for people with cameras.